Reinhardt Toyota on the East Boulevard. You can also see their entire inventory and shop online at reinhardttoyota.com. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Wednesday. Montgomery police investigating an overnight shooting, gunfire near Jackson Hospital's main facility on Pine Street. Authorities there say some property was damaged from the gunfire, and one man was found at the scene with a life-threatening gunshot wound. A Prattville City Councilman facing a criminal charge this morning. Officials say District 2 Councilman Marcus Jackson has been charged with misdemeanor menacing. Jackson's attorney said the councilman denies the allegation. You can read his full statement on our website, WSFA.com. The city of Huntsville is now the #1 place to live in America. That's according to the U.S. News and World Report's Best Places to Live list. The publisher also did a Best Places to Live in Alabama list. On the Alabama list, Montgomery came in #3, behind Huntsville and Birmingham. I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News, and these are your morning headlines.
Attention River Region. Don't wait on one of those internet companies to hopefully call you back. You'll be disappointed even if they do. Just Blinds and Travel is here to make sure your home has the look and feel of the best American-made window treatments, including motorization and smart home options. Your guests will love them as much as you do. For over 35 years, Just Blinds has been the trusted local source for quality, beauty, and customer satisfaction, serving Lake Martin, Auburn, and the River Region.
Hey, Montgomery, Prattville, and surrounding areas. Matt Parsley here with Budget Car and Truck Sales. We're all feeling the pinch. With everything going up, I'm sorry to say at Budget, we're going to have to take away the nickel down sale, and we're raising it to a dime. Yep, that's right, one dime, one thin dime. It's dime time. Yep, it's dime time. If you've got a dime and some time, shop over 300 compact, mid-size, full-size luxury cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And if you're looking to sell your car, we're buying. And we'll buy it on the spot with no trade-in required. Owe too much on your trade? We'll pay up to $4,256 over Kelley Blue Book for most trades. And if credit problems in the past prevent you from driving a light new car today, we understand. My credit approval process will help you rebuild your credit and get you financed when others can't. We are Budget Car and Truck Sales. So if you've got a little time and a dime, visit us in Montgomery at 61 Mendel Parkway or 508 McQueen Smith Road in Prattville. Check us out online at mybudgetonline.com.
Got questions about your roof? River Region Contracting has the answer. Google River Region Contracting today or visit their website, riverregioncontracting.com.
Folks in Autauga and Elmore counties know the difference between right and wrong. When politicians say one thing but do another, it's time for change in the State House. Jerry Starnes is a change in the right direction. He's a husband, a father, and a Christian conservative. Jerry Starnes is a Purple Heart decorated veteran. Jerry Starnes is a man of strong character, a man who loves his wife, and a man you can trust. Paid for by Jerry Starnes for State House of Representatives, 1695 Winstone Way, Prattville, Alabama, 36066.
Millions of Americans don't diversify their portfolio, which means millions are missing out on the benefits of diversification.
It could be anyone.
Anyone.
Your plumber.
Yeah, I'm here to fix your toilet.
Your nudist yoga instructor.
What's up, dude?
Your ex-girlfriend.
It's not you, it's me.
Or even you. While millions of Americans don't diversify their portfolios, you could be diversifying yours by investing in blue chip art with Masterworks. Go to masterworks.io, enter promo code ART.
Before deciding to invest, carefully review the important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclaimer.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works overtime with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget is available as a concentrate or extreme reach hose end. Purchase Wet and Forget in-store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
It's Bongino every weekday from 2 till 5 p.m. right here on News Radio 1440. Depend on it. Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and the sun does not appear, I will be.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to rise and shine once again, if you can. It is another day that the Lord has made. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440 on your AM dial, or internet, or our app, or newsradio1440.com. Either way, you can find us if you want us. Good morning to you. It is time for our daily bread, the best part of the show, the most important part of the show, as a matter of fact. And today's daily bread, it is May the 18th, 2022 AD. Today's daily bread is simply entitled, Crave Him. Our scripture insight today comes from John 6:25 through 35. John 6:35 says, Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. Govern yourselves accordingly. Again, it is crave him. It is May the 18th, 2022 AD. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day that shall never, ever come again. It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you ought to do today that you didn't. But more importantly, you don't get a chance to come back to do the things that you should have done. So whatever it is that you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be glad for what you've done on this day. If you have lived a while, you have seen and you have heard many, many, many yesterdays. But only if we are blessed and have the favor of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may see some tomorrows. I'm not sure, but we may. Benjamin Elijah Mays once said that whatever we do in life, we should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say that it's the standard by which you live life, you shall always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two. We all do. But you will never be a failure as long as you never quit. You never give up. Because quitters don't win, and winners, where they may fail at a thing or two. After all, we all do. But you will never be a failure as long as you don't quit. And there will be mountains in your life, some so big you can't go around, some so high you can't go over, and some so deep you can't even get under it. When the mountains are high, too wide, or too deep, sometimes you have to go through the mountains. But all you got to do is ask for a little help from the one who made the mountains, and you'll be okay. Don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. And no matter what happens this day, remember this. It is a great day to be alive, like all the others. Don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. Winners don't quit, and quitters never win. Good morning to you. Crave him, May the 18th, 2022 AD.
Hello, friends. Thanks for joining us for another daily encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's devotional, titled Crave Him, was written by Marvin Williams. Why is it that when we say, this is the last potato chip I'm going to eat, 5 minutes later, we're looking for more? Michael Moss answers that question in his book, Salt, Sugar, Fat. He describes how America's largest snack producers know how to help people crave junk food. In fact, one popular company spent $30 million a year and hired Crave consultants to determine the bliss point for consumers so it could exploit our food cravings. Unlike that company, Jesus helps us long for real food, spiritual food that brings satisfaction to our souls. In John chapter 6, he said, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. By making this claim, he communicated two important things. First, the bread of which he spoke is a person, not a commodity. Second, when people put their trust in Jesus for forgiveness of sin, they enter into a right relationship with him and find fulfillment for every craving of their soul. This bread is everlasting spiritual food that leads to satisfaction and life. When we place our trust in Jesus, the true bread from heaven will crave him, and he'll strengthen and transform our lives. Now let's get closer to Jesus by listening to today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading. It's taken from John chapter 6, verses 25 through 35. When they found him on the other side of the lake, they asked him, Rabbi, when did you get here? Jesus answered, Very truly, I tell you, you are looking for me, not because you saw the signs I performed, but because you ate the loaves and had your fill. Do not work for food that spoils, but for food that endures to eternal life, which the Son of Man will give you. For on him God the Father has placed his seal of approval. Then they asked him, What must we do to do the works God requires? Jesus answered, The work of God is this, to believe in the one he has sent. So they asked him, What sign then will you give that we may see it and believe you? What will you do? Our ancestors ate the manna in the wilderness, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Jesus said to them, Very truly, I tell you, it is not Moses who has given you the bread from heaven, but it is my Father who gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is the bread that comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. Sir, they said, always give us this bread. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. Let's pray. Jesus, bread of life, thank you for fulfilling our every hunger and every need. May we crave you and find all we need in your perfect provision. Thank you, Lord. It's in your name that we pray and find our great hungers met. Amen. Thanks for listening. My name is Wes Ward, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Chorus, attention, who?
Airborne.
Here we go, all the way, gotta be.
Well, you hear that? You know what time it is. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get up. Time to get this day started. First of all, thank God for another day. Don't do anything before doing that first. All right, go, General.
All on my knees. Got nothing to eat but a can of beans. Nothing to eat but a can of beans. The bread was molded and the meat was bad. The bread was molded and the meat was bad. Well, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and tough, airborne, all the way. When I was young, I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, knees in the breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight. All the way airborne, all the way driving on. All the way airborne, all the way driving on. Early one morning. morning in the drizzling rain when I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light lead with the shooting glow. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on, driving on, driving on, all the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on, driving on, driving on. Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and tough, air.
All the way. Next up, it's PT time. I don't know who's calling Cadence this morning, but somebody is. All right, so let's get that rolling. Let's get that going. Let's get ready to go. Let's go. And somebody get the mayor, the first sergeant, and the sergeant major down here telling me they need to run this morning too.
Run some more.
Well, when your left foot strikes the ground.
When your left foot strikes the ground.
Well, let me hear that clapping sound.
Let me hear that clapping sound.
Follow my airborne.
Airborne.
All the way.
All the way.
Fired up.
Fired up.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Going around.
Going around.
Hollywood.
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 Looking good.
Looking good.
All right.
All right.
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Everybody.
Everybody.
On.
Sound off.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Let me hear.
Let me hear.
In the rear.
In the rear.
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight.
In the middle.
In the middle.
Press the right.
Press the right.
In the front.
In the front.
Rock steady.
Rock steady.
Up and ready.
Up and ready.
80 deuce.
80 deuce.
Here we come.
Here we go.
80 deuce.
80 deuce.
Airborne.
Airborne.
80 mean.
80 mean.
Rough and tough.
Rough and tough.
Hey you.
Hey you.
How you feel?
How you feel?
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
All right.
All right.
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Out of sight.
Out of sight.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Motivated.
Motivated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Wanna be.
Wanna be.
Airborne.
Airborne.
Wanna be.
Wanna be.
Airborne.
Airborne.
Woo! All right then. I had to set that one out. Bad leg this morning. But hey, hopefully I'll be back in shape on tomorrow. And now, we pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States of America, along with our Montgomery Fire Department, Montgomery Police Department, Montgomery Sheriff Department, Montgomery Maintenance Department, and all the people who go in when everybody else is running out. Did I get everybody? Everybody? Oh, okay. That's good. But first, we got to give homage to Maxwell Air Force Base in Gunner. After all, this is an Air Force town. You got to pay some respect. That's what it's all about. Good morning to you and the Air War College, and to all the young men and women who come from all over the world to see how it's done right here in Montgomery, Alabama. So as you sleep every night, somebody is keeping watch.
Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to foreign shores, we sail and bring the king of kings. Our last night on shore, hail to the throne, until we meet once more. We wish you a popular song. From the falls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, freedom flies on mountains high, in the air on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor free. We have come to live on time of United States of America.
And of course, last but certainly not least, the United States Army. Anderson Army Depot, Fort Rucker, Alabama, Redstone Arsenal, Camp McCain, Army National Guard, Camp Shelby, and the Mississippi Ordnance Plant. How about Fort Greeley, Fort Wainwright, Joint Base Elmendorf and Richardson? How about Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, Fort William Henry Harrison, National Guard, Camp Navajo, Fort Huachuca, Yuma Proving Grounds. Hey, I got some more. We'll finish those tomorrow. Okay, that's right. We got some more, but I'm just gonna stick with those for the time being. I forgot about Arkansas. Woo! I didn't know Arkansas was still a state. Good morning to you. Good morning, and good morning again. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. Now, you know what time it is. It's about that time of morning where you get my infamous lessons of life, the things you learn by living. You can hear about them, but you can't learn them until you have lived them. But that's okay. I got something for you today. I got a good word for the day. Good word. It's a Wednesday morning. Good morning to all of you. Hope that they find you well. Don't forget to always thank the good Lord for being here, because it certainly did not have to be. All right, then. Good morning, Todd. And first of all, let me, I keep meaning to do this every morning, but I forget to do it, because there's a young man out there that, if the good Lord says the same, he'll be 95 years old next year. And I hope to be here when he hits that and when he hits 100. Okay, but Mr. Edward Cunningham. Good morning, Mr. Cunningham. And you know what? He still does most of his work in his own in his house. He still gets around pretty good and all that stuff. So I hope I'm in that good a shape when I hit 95. Actually, I hope to hit 95. I think I hope to hit 95. If I'm in good a shape as he is, I can do it. But other than that, happy birthday, Mr. Cunningham's birthday was in February, as a matter of fact. But I was late on that too. Sometime I'm running 5 computers here, boards, all kind of knobs and telephones and all kind of things. So if I'm supposed to do something some mornings and I don't do it, give it to my head, not to my heart. I be meaning to do it, but sometimes my mind just ain't what it used to be. Like Mr. Jenkins said, sometimes I got sometimers. Sometimes I remember, and sometimes I don't. So that's better than all timers. Anyway, good morning to you. We are doing well this morning. Got to go to the dentist. Of all the doctors I hate going to the dentist. I really do. I'm not a very good pain guy. I used to be when I was younger. Now I'm just not a very good pain, because there ain't nothing friendly about going to the dentist office. I'm just saying, unless they give me the gas. Now, if they give me the gas, put me to sleep, I'm good. I just want to make sure they wake me up. But I do like the gas. Yeah. Now, that's the closest I've ever been to being high. Okay, was the gas thing. I like going to the dentist just for the gas, because they put you to sleep, and you're not really asleep. You're sort of like in a maze and a daze and a haze. Maze, daze, haze, whichever one it is. I like the way it feels. Okay, one way or the other. And I hear all that thumping and grinding and chewing and kind of messing my mind up. I need to go to the dentist too, as a matter of fact. I just hate going. And I pay for 2 dental insurance. I think that's what really ticked me off. I got at one time I had 3 dental insurances, right? And you go to the dentist and they won't take them both. I said, but I'm paying for them both. Well, we can't do it. And so I'm going to get with that insurance company, that insurance commission here in Alabama, and find out if you're paying for 2 insurances, and unless there's a law that says that you're not supposed to have but 1 insurance. If she like me, if I wanted 2 life insurances, that they'd have to pay. As long as I was keeping the premium up, they'd have to pay. I don't understand this why you can't take both of them. I don't want to be coming out of no money when I go down there. That's why I got the 2 insurances. I want you to make them come out the money. I'm just saying. I've been with this one insurance company almost 20-something years. And every time I go to the dental office, they always tell, well, we can't take that one. Well, how come? Because you got another one. Okay, but still, I'm paying for both of them. I don't get that. Maybe somebody can tell me why that is. I don't know. I don't have a clue. I know I don't like it. I know you don't care about that. I'm with you. But I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person with that issue. Okay, let me shut up. Go to my break. We'll come back with lessons of life and things of that nature. But it doesn't make any sense if you got two insurance. I don't care if you have four insurance. If you're making the payment on them every month, whoever your provider is should take the insurance. Okay, I'm just telling you, but maybe they will, and maybe. Okay. I want to make this happen. Who's my representative right now? Okay, it's Charlotte Meadows. Charlotte. Okay. Oh yeah, and I found out the other day that I'm no longer in Brantley Lyons. It's different. Matter of fact, we had 4 people last night not at the city council meeting. I'd like to know why, but that's okay. I guess sometimes things happen. But Brantley Lyons is no longer my city council person. Marcia Johnson is. She wasn't there last night. I didn't see her. Where was she at? Now and then they put me in a Democratic senatorial thing here. What's up with that? Have I ever voted Democrat? No. I voted for one Democrat. I voted for 2 Democrats. I voted for the mayor, even though I knew he was a Democrat, but I think he's more than capable. We just got to ferret out some political things, but I think he's more than capable of doing the job. And I voted for Gene, who's running for judge a couple years ago. Still think they're good folks. Okay. See, I'm a moderate. Okay. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican, but I do vote Republican most of the time because for some reason, somebody thought in somebody's infinite wisdom that although we can have Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and McDonald's on the same street for a variety of choices, somebody in their infinite wisdom thought that America, a place known for freedom and choice, only wants 2 choices when it comes to voting, Democrat or Republican. I think it is time for a change. Okay? I say forget the Republicans and the Democrats and just put people on the ballot who want to be there. If they can pay the fee to get there. Again, we can go down Zelda Road, we can go to East Chase. We see a plethora of choices for the things we want to do. But when it comes to voting, the staple of our republic, it's ran as if it was a communist dictate, and we are dictated to vote either for Republicans or Democrats, or those who call themselves Republicans and Democrats. I'm just saying, it is an amazing thing to me. A country that was built on the foundation of choice and freedom, we don't have the freedom to really vote for the people we want to vote for. The 2 parties in charge give us an ultimatum: either vote for one of us or up yours. There's something wrong with that. And the same people that are actually in charge are the ones who are in charge of who can be on the ballot. There is something un-American about that. Okay? I mean, every once in a while we get the Libertarian Party, but not enough on there to make a difference. So I think I'm going to vote for the next guy who says we need an open ballot. If you can get your name on it, put your name on it. All right? That's what I'm talking about. Give me freedom and give me choice. I won't say give me death. I mean, it's coming, but I ain't trying to rush it. All right, so we'll be back. Uno momento. But it is an amazing thing that a country who builds itself as a democratic society only gives you 2 choices. Woo! Let's take a break, and we'll be back. Uno momento. Okay, right after this.
Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has your workplace covered with furniture and organizational items curated by Staples Work From Home Style Squad. Now get 25% off storage and filing products, chair mats, decor, and lighting with the purchase of a desk or office chair. In-store only. Offer ends 5/28. Staples, the working and learning store.
The heat is on for today and the rest of the work week. Temperatures get up into the mid-90s. A few upper 90s are also possible, especially Thursday. Skies will feature a mix of sun and clouds. The humidity will be noticeable. It'll be humid. It just won't be top of the charts humidity, so at least we won't have heat index values well over 100. But mid-90s, that's hot enough. We're approaching record highs. Showers and storms return to the forecast then for the weekend. That's your first alert forecast. I'm Meteor.
Today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading titled food from heaven.
And so they wrote that song for me. Became quite a hit.
Was Macklemore in that first cast?
Yes, she was.
And you were also in a fantastic movie there called Putney Swope.
Yeah, that was some movie.
You don't want to really rap on that, huh? Okay, it's kind of dangerous, huh? Are you into any acting things right now, or into any more shows like Hair?
Well, as far as Broadway shows are concerned, not yet, but I am negotiating for a part, which will be Frankie Lyman's story that I'm up for, and I got my fingers crossed for that.
Hey, that sounds great, man. It should be. This new album is kind of a change for you, isn't it? Things are kind of softer, and it's a very pretty song.
Pros, better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9.
Wonderful job. They're two very fantastic people, and the songs are just great, really.
They sure are. They're old friends from Philadelphia.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess you will be just recording more. And do you work on the road very much?
Yes, I do a lot of tours, college concerts, and nightclubs, and things of that sort, on the road a lot.
Your mother used to travel with you, didn't she?
Yes, she used to travel with me, but not anymore.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
You already know Katie Britt's a woke DC lobbyist who cheered when Doug Jones beat Roy Moore. Britt's an establishment swamp creature who will fold rather than stand up to Joe Biden. And as bad as Britt is, there's an even worse choice, Mike Durant. Durant plays a tough guy on TV, but it's all an act. That Patriot PAC with nonstop Durant ads is funded by left-wing woke liberals involved with the traitorous anti-Trump Lincoln Project, and they expect return on investment. Durant's no conservative. Durant's a rhino Trojan horse, a fake, a phony, and a fraud. The conservative choice? Clearly, Mo Brooks. Mo's not woke. Mo's smart, tough, and edgy. The brash Dixie fighter needed to shut down Joe Biden. It's time Alabama sends a message, and that message is Mo Brooks. The richest conservative PAC paid for this ad and is responsible for its contents. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee. ccpac.us.
The City of Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs is calling all creative minds. The department exists to engage, enlighten, and elevate a diverse, inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons of the arts. If this is you, visit montgomeryal.gov and click on the Cultural Affairs page to register to be part of Montgomery's creative community.
When it's time to get a new vehicle, Larry Puckett Chevrolet is the best place to find your new Chevy or a great used car. New cars, SUVs, and trucks are being delivered daily, and Larry Puckett has their largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in over a year. Check them out online at larrypuckett.com or visit them on Cobbsford Road in Prattville. And if you have an extra vehicle, bring it in for an instant cash offer. Whether you're selling or trading, your vehicle will never be worth more. Larry Puckett Chevrolet, where the customers do the talking.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial.
Ben Shapiro.
The Ben Shapiro Show, tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
When you get right down to it, there's a lesson on what it's all about, girl. And when you get right down to it, don't you just feel this moment says everything?
And good morning. A little Ronnie Dyson for you this one. I love that guy. And we're about the same age. Okay, not quite. Was 7. He was born in 1950, but I was born 57. I was head behind him. What a great singer he was, though. He died of heart failure in New York, in Brooklyn, New York, in 1990. I didn't know that. I mean, his songs used to put me to sleep at night. I lived such a lonely childhood when I was coming up. But me and Ronnie Dyson, we had that one-man band. The song called "One Man Band Plays All Alone." I just felt so lonesome back in those days. I don't know what happened to me. If I tell you the story, you'll start crying, and then I don't want you to mess up your whole morning. So we'll get to that story. That's kind of like my Marine Corps story. That's kind of like my Marine Corps story. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. I hope you feel blessed. And remember, any day above ground is better than the ground being above you. So if you woke up this morning and you know you're woke, you are doing very well, even though you may not feel too good sometimes, and that's all part of living, I guess. Anyway, good morning to you. The word of the day is this. It means to gather something such as information bit by bit, to pick over in search of relevant material. In other words, the word is glean. Now, if you're putting in for a job and the interviewer says, well, let us glean over your resume, which means they're going to take it in the back room and really see if you accomplish all these things that you said you did. It means doing an in-depth review to extract information that they think is relevant. So you don't want to hear the word glean. If they say, okay, we're going to take it back and look at it, that's fine. But if they say we're going to glean over your information, you might well just, you didn't do all that stuff at your last job. You know it, but you got it in there. And so now they're going to figure out, if you're full of it or if you actually, did those kinds of things. Now, on my resumes, I haven't put too many in because after the military, I pretty much didn't want to work for anybody anyway, except in radio. That's the only job I really wanted, and computers. That's the only job I really wanted. So I don't really know what putting resumes in is all about, but I did have an opportunity to put a resume in one time. Now, I actually got a call back. I didn't get hired, but they called back. Now, you know why I got the call back? Okay, you know why I got the call back? It wasn't for that great mecca of information that I left in the guy's office. No. It wasn't for that. It wasn't because my experiences were so overwhelming that they had to call me back. No, it wasn't for that either. Okay. So does anybody want to know why I got the call back? Well, if you call me up and down, I'll tell you why I get the call back. I got a call back once. Until this day, I'm trying to figure it out. What was that all about? But anyway, good morning to you. It is a lessons a lifetime. These are the things you learn by living. You can hear about them, but until you lived it, you do not know. Now, success is a wonderful thing. One has asked on many occasions, how do you define success? I really don't I don't think there's one definition to it. How do you define it? I don't know. But I guess it's up to each individual, because if you're eating hot dogs for a living and you're the hot dog eating winner, you have been successful, at least at that moment. Life has a lot of attributes in it. Okay. Let's say you're the best at something. I mean, you are the man. There's nobody in this town that can beat you at what you do, which is pretty good place to be. I will admit, it's a pretty good place to be. I will concur. But you're the best, and everywhere you go, you tell people that I am the man. Okay, I'm the man. I'm the best that there ever was, ever will be, and anybody can't even think about. I know. I got you. I got you. There are attributes to life that will serve us all well if we, in fact, employ those attributes. One of those attributes is humility. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I've had moments where I should have remembered that. Okay? Humility. I should have remembered that, because there have been times, that I have forgotten. And I became braggadocious. And bragging does not serve you well. Okay? As a matter of fact, people who were gonna like you, they don't like you anymore. Okay? So, success is never a destination. It is always a journey. Because some of the most successful people in the world, at the end of the day, found themselves back down here with me. Okay? So success has got to be, it's a journey. And it's a continual journey. And even when you make it to the top of the mountain, there's no place to go then except down. So, but there's one human characteristic that no matter if you're on the top or if you're on the bottom, there's one human characteristic that will always serve you well, one virtue that will always serve you well. And I say we at times need to remember that. And that virtue is humility. So as you begin to rise in life, there's some people who finish in school this year, the last couple of days, graduation, love seeing all of them. But remember this, stay humble. Because you'll find as you go through life, you really don't have any reason to brag. Humility is another virtue that we as human beings must learn to master on our way to success. Because you will find that success is fleeting. Somebody said that, I think one of the Roman, back in the old days, one of the old generals said, success is fleeting. It's temporary, okay? And 30 minutes after you're dead, people forget your name. But they'll never forget the person that you were. So stay humble, okay? I know I'm talking to myself too. Broke as I am, I don't know the reason why I can. I don't know why I can't be humble more. But anyway, I'm doing my best. So humility is another virtue that you must learn to master on your way to success. And if you do that, people will remember you far longer than they'll remember you if you brag. I'm just trying to tell you. All right. I learned that. Yeah. Okay. It's one of those things you learn in life. It is May the 18th. It is the 138th day of this year. It was on this day in 1896 that U.S. Supreme Court in Plessy versus Ferguson endorsed separate but equal racial segregation, a concept renounced 58 years later in Brown v. Board of Education in Topeka, Kansas. Of course, we still kind of segregated, but we'll talk about that later on. 1642, the Canadian city of Montreal was founded by French colonists. On this date in 1765, 1/4 of Montreal was destroyed by fire. 1652 was the year Rhode Island became the first American colony to pass a law abolishing African slavery. However, the law was apparently never enforced. 1781, Peruvian revolutionary Tupac Amuri, or something close to it, 43, was forced to witness the execution of his relatives by the Spanish in the main plaza Cusco before being beheaded. 1863, the siege of Vicksburg began during the Civil War, ending July the 4th with a Union victory. The year was 1920. Pope John Paul, or close to it, John Paul II, was born in Poland. 1933, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed a measure creating the Tennessee Valley Authority. And I'm still trying to figure out what the Tennessee Valley Authority is. I don't got something to do with water, electricity, something like that. I don't know what the hell that is. But I know one thing. What's that got to do with Alabama? Anyway, long story. 1944, the World War II, Allied forces occupied Monte Cassino in Italy after a 4-month struggle with the Axis troops. In 1953, Jacqueline Cochran, 47 years old, the first woman to break the sound barrier as she piloted the Canada Air F-86 Sabre jet over Rogers Dry Lake in California. 1967, Tennessee Governor Buford Ellington signed a measure repealing the law against teaching evolution that was used to prosecute John T. Scopes in 1925. Makes sense. I believe in evolution. I think evolution is part of the whole creative process. I mean, come on now. I mean, some of us got bigger feet than others because the good Lord said, well, you got to need bigger feet later on because got a lot of things to do walking. So he implemented evolution in there. So I don't think evolution is anti-creationism. I think it's part of the creation. That's just me. 1980, Mount St. Helens, when I was up there watching, saw this myself. I saw it. I'm sitting there. I had a bird's eye view about 150 miles away. I watched that sucker blow up. And of course, when they on this day, of course, they said that it's never going to grow back. We have to wacko environmental. Nothing's ever going to happen. We're going to put too much dirt in the air. Do you know Mount St. Helens put more dirt and rock in the air than all the cars in America at one time for the last 100 years? Yeah, all in one day. I watched it. I'm just telling you. I was going to go up there and take a parachute drop, but I thought I better stay at Fort Lewis and hang out down there so they don't forget about a brother. So that's what I did. Anyway, 1980, the Mount St. Helens volcano in Washington State exploded, leaving 57 people dead or missing. 1981, the New York Native, a gay newspaper, I don't know why that made me choke there for a second, carried a story concerning rumors of an exotic new disease amongst homosexuals. It was the first published report about what became to be known as AIDS. And 13 years ago, President Barack Obama urged Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during the White House meeting to stop Jewish settlements and grasp a historic opportunity. Well, if they stopped shooting missiles in my man's yard back there, they probably could have did that. But you don't shoot a missile in a man's yard. I don't. And then talk about peace. 3 years of who is this other guy right here? What else is that about it? Oh, okay. 5 years ago, or 8 years ago actually, AT&T agreed to buy satellite TV provider DirecTV for $48.5 billion, or $95 a share. The deal was completed in 2015. Singer Jerry Valli, 83, Valli, whatever his name was, died in Palm Desert, California. I don't know who he is, but evidently somebody did. Cinematographer Gordon Willis, who did The Godfather, Annie Hall, and All the President's Men, died in Cape Cod, Massachusetts at the age of 82. And it was 3 years ago, a 17-year-old armed with a shotgun and a pistol opened fire at Houston Area High School, killing 8 students and 2 teachers. Demetrius, whatever his last, I don't want to mess his name up. I don't really care if I mess his name up, though. But he was charged in state court with a capital murder. His attorney saying he's facing 11 federal charges. 39-year-old airliner crashed and burned in a field just after taking off from Havana, Cuba, killing 112 people. President Donald Trump said he would nominate acting Veterans Affairs Secretary Robert Wilkie to permanently lead the department. And he was confirmed by the Senate, of course, in that July. Other than that, that's about it. That's all that's going on right now. So we'll come back. I forgot it is Wednesday. Donald's here. So we're going to talk to him about whatever he wants to talk about. Of course, I'll win the argument, no matter what it is. We'll be back. Uno momento. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 momento.
USFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Elkman, the mayor of the airwaves. How are you doing this morning?
Cannot complain.
Cannot complain.
Could complain.
Could complain. You've got a fancy cap there.
Somebody said 1980 called want their cap back.
Yeah.
I love this cap. I bought this cap. Right. I love it. In the 1980, as you can tell, I was wearing a green cap. I didn't know nothing about these.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 1980 calling one the cap back. That's a good one. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's old school. That's for real. Is that pleather or is that leather?
I don't know which one it is. It got to be leather because it didn't cost that much.
Oh, okay. You must have had a sale on.
No, Amazon. I love Amazon.
Oh, okay. You're spoiled by Amazon.
You can sit there in your living room and go broke.
That's one way to describe it.
You can sit there. You don't even have to leave home. You can spend all your money just sitting in the living room. You got to be careful with that stuff. Right here. Don't even leave
I'm
out.
Deborah Rodriguez. Equal pay for equal play.
I'm tired of women whining about equal pay in
Federation
sports.
has just announced it's reached a
people
landmark
wanted to watch
agreement with the
them, they would have
U.S.
that problem.
women's national team in its long fight
Women's
for
sports
pay
just suck,
equality with men.
And
For the first time, the
WNBA
agreement
don't do
means
nothing for
athletes
them.
of all genders will earn the same prize money, benefits, and other revenue.
Hey.
The U.S. becomes the first country in the world to achieve parity. Voters
Oh,
have had their
now
say
women
in
are good at
primaries in
that. I
5
love
states,
watching women
but the
do that
message
little
they've sent is not fully formed
gymnastics,
yet. Some are still
but they have
undecided.
sexualized
One
them
is an
to the
upset.
point. I mean,
Correspondent Robert
they got to wear
Costa
skimpy
begins our
clothes and all that
coverage.
stuff. Hell, I'm gonna be looking for the athletic ability. I'll be trying to figure out what's all that. No, they mean no. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of guys looking at that stuff. It ain't got nothing to do with the sport. Okay, all right.
Now, if you said
Well, same thing.
That's different.
Yeah.
But gymnastics.
But why would you make them? Why not wear a whole body suit? Why would you make
Why?
them?
See, you're so concerned with that. Why?
Because they just like women cheerleaders, girls cheerleaders. I mean, the things they have to wear sometimes to do that. I wouldn't want my daughter being a
That's
cheerleader.
because you're a sexual being. You think of everything in sexual terms. You think of a woman as a piece of meat on TV.
CBS News has learned
Why
new
do they
details
show them
about
that
the
way?
18-year-old suspect.
Doesn't matter.
If you ain't hardly got no clothes on, a man is going to be a man. We are going to look at
That is, you're speaking for yourself. You are a flesh-driven individual.
Okay.
You are a materialistic person. You're always talking about being broke. See, you're materialistic, and that includes physicality. You, not everybody else.
Because I know you ain't
You're
never,
a sexual being.
I know you ain't never looked at a female and said, that show looks good. I know you ain't never said, admired the physique of a
But I
female.
don't dwell on it. The difference between you and I is
Dwelling on it,
you
brother.
dwell on it. You're still talking about it. I mean,
Because I think-
once a contestant comes out, okay, that's that one. Then the next one comes
Well,
out.
like Miss America, they got to put them in bathing suits.
That's part of
But I mean,
women's
it's
competition.
sexualization of the female.
Sweden
Oh,
and
man,
Finland.
you-
It is. I know what you're saying.
You're very Victorian.
Why don't we let the, I understand the nightgown. I can understand the evening gown. It shows you gracefulness. But why the swimming suit?
That's part of, you know what?
It's sexualization. Is what it is.
You know what? There used to be a Jet magazine.
Jet?
A Jet
Yeah,
magazine.
I used to watch
In the
that.
middle. In the middle.
Check that
They
too.
would always have.
A swimsuit. Yeah, I love
It was
it.
in the middle. And just about every famous woman who's my age now was in Jet magazine.
I got it. I
Well, yeah, I don't know if they still have it now.
I mean, I
But
love
it,
it.
I mean, it was just as cool as my years.
That's the sound of a producing
You know,
oil well
it's not like
smart investment.
oh, okay. Deviant.
Investors can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. The U.S. government needs your investment in oil, and you're allowed to write off nearly 100% of your investment in the first year. year. Goldman Sachs is projecting oil to reach well above $100 a barrel. Call 1-800-278-7455. Encore Energy is a very active oil and gas operator in its core eastern area of operations. If you are an accredited investor, call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment against all forms of income and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 1-800-278-7455. You'll be calling directly to the home office of Encore Energy. That's 1-800-278-7455.
The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety's sized up SUVs and how well they protect passengers in side crashes.
IIHS President David Harkey says half the midsize SUVs tested received a good rating. The rest came in at acceptable or marginal. Do you feel confident that car makers can and
now now they got me in it.
Gerrymandered.
Oh man, what a
it multiplies the number of
black people
that are in it, and then they still give you a count of 5 to 4. That's what.
How is that possible too?
Gerrymandered. And that's the same thing for the Senate district, and it's the same thing for the representative. We should see what it does. If you divide Montgomery up so that we're part of Elmore County and all of that, and it reduces the number of probably black.
Now I'm in Hampton senatorial district.
Right.
Why y'all put me in the Democrat?
It's not about you.
It ain't never been about us.
I mean, it ain't about us. It's about
them, the political party. That's right.
That's assuring that they have.
That's right. That's what that's all about.
If you look at the demographic change in there, like for instance, you live over there. The demographics has changed according to race. And that's what they're going by. Yeah. So that assures that you will still keep it the way it is.
When I first moved over there, it was Biltmore, Ashley, and places like. I mean, it was predominantly a white.
But that is
now
changed.
But
see, in 10 years that has changed.
But that was the older generation.
Well, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's the older generation. Now
see, that has changed in 10 years. And that's just a way to gerrymander. I mean, it's gerrymander. And then when the Democrats were in power, they did the same thing. So now the Republicans are in power, so they make sure that they have their super majority. They're going to keep it. And that's not going to change anytime soon. Not in our lifetime.
So how's your mom?
It's okay under the circumstances.
Okay. And how about your little brother? What they doing now?
Well, one works at Home Depot and the other one works at Central.
Okay. I thought one was playing football or something.
No. He was tall enough. People assumed that he did, but no, he was in the band at But the other one, he should still help us get him situated.
But now your son that was your son.
My son.
He's still doing the whatever he does.
Yeah.
I know he's pretty good at it. So.
Yeah.
Y'all did a wonderful job with my wife's thing.
Yeah. Matter of fact, someone asked me yesterday, "What's going on your front?" I said, "I don't know." I said,
"I ain't doing it."
And they said, "Well, look like they stopped on it." I said, "I don't know. I haven't been by there. I can't comment on it. I don't know."
I don't know. Marcy had them built something up there. It's like a porch. She had them built. So.
I don't know. I haven't. As a matter of fact, I haven't even been that way, so I don't know. I don't have to go there. I used to go that way nearly every day when I was.
I'm asking too.
Oh, okay. I'll tell them that. I told him I'll ask Kevin. I don't know.
She wanted a porch.
Okay. Well.
And the people who did the stuff to put on the roof, shingles, did all that stuff. She just had them do that.
Okay. Well, that's good. So,
I ain't seen them.
Well, you're the man. You're the man. Pimping ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's hard being a
Brian Kelly treats things like tendonitis and diabetes. If a person is diabetic, it's important to have food.
We've had an interesting week.
Call today for an appointment.
Yeah, we have.
265-7585.
Well,
Happy
interesting
feet
weekend.
start here.
Yeah.
Representation is made
Yeah.
as to the quality of pediatric services to be performed or as to the expertise of podiatrists performing such services.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound.
Good morning, my friend. How are you this morning?
As a podiatrist, it is my job
You know,
I must
your
have-
bougie, at least you have earned those holes.
New government regulations allow
You
for
earned it.
annual
You didn't buy it
diabetic
that way.
cut
That's
down on
you earned it.
amputations and control the cost of health
That's
care.
what I'm talking
Call me,
about. You earned it.
Brian Kelly.
Why these fools want to buy clothes with holes in them nowadays and pay more for them?
265-7585.
Only in America can
Locations
you
in
get
Montgomery,
50 to
Greenville.
buy.
Follow us on Facebook at Greenville Foot Care.
Well,
Happy
that's
feet start
worldwide.
here.
Yeah, I know, but it started over here. It started here.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese, the Russians don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440.
Really?
Can I get back down there? Okay, you guys know what day it is. It's Wednesday, and Donald occupies that chair 2 Wednesdays of the month, and Carlton Avery's got a week when I can get him up here. He had a new baby, so he don't know he can just bring the baby with him. He just bring the baby with you, put a blanket over him. One I can figure out how people take their children out and put the blanket all over the poor child's head and everything. I mean, I don't know how the baby don't suffocate. I've seen that. I mean, he said, what's in there? It's a baby. Get the baby some air. I mean, anyway, nobody really cares about that.
Okay.
Anyway, good morning, Donald.
Good morning, Kevin, and good morning to the audience.
How you doing?
I'm doing just great, thank you.
So, what's on your mind this morning? I got a lot of things to talk about, but I'm gonna let you start.
I was interested in something you brought up sometime this week, and I was wondering, did you know the details of why it was? And you said it was an article. There was an article actually. I know where you got it from in the New York Post, and a woman asked the question.
Oh yeah.
Why did Green Bay only draft black players this draft? And
I thought it was a great question.
It wasn't.
Okay, I thought it was. That's why
it's totally irrelevant. First of all, and when I heard that, I said, I don't think Kevin understands. Green Bay is totally different from any other team in the league, and that question wouldn't come up in any other member of the league.
Why not?
Because they're owned by individuals, and that wouldn't even been a question they would even try to answer. They would say, first of all, you must understand, the NBA, the NFL choose their players basically by computer, and they don't look at race. Race has absolutely nothing with the choice of individuals being on a team. The computer doesn't know, and the scouts just merely go out to see would they be the match that the computer is saying. So it has nothing to do with race. And Green Bay especially, it has nothing to do with race.
In theory, I see where you're going with this, but I will tell you this much. Had Green Bay only drafted just whites, somebody
no, they wouldn't. And it's not going to happen. See, first of all, if you look at it, what does the University of Alabama football team look like?
Mostly black.
What does the University of Alabama basketball team look like?
Mostly black.
All black. Okay. Now, no one is complaining because
they're winning.
Right. Okay. No one is complaining in Green Bay. Green Bay is a predominantly white town.
I know.
And Green Bay owns, basically, the people of the town own the team.
Own the football team. Right, they do.
Okay, but they don't control the team. They have absolutely no control of it.
So they really
Green Bay is a team that will never happen again. They're grandfathered in. When it was voted on by the Owners Association that they would allow Green Bay to have a nonprofit that would own the team, it has certain provisions, and the people do not control the team.
Right, I got that part.
They just get little privileges to buy things that shows that they're owners of the team. That's all. Other than that, it is run like every other business in the NFL.
So here's the question I must ask.
And they're only and no one questions why.
Well, somebody did.
No, it was a racist question.
it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Wasn't racist.
Because
then you're going to use the word racist.
Because she injected race into it when it is never an issue in the NFL, the race of the individuals who are playing on the team.
Well, and I agree. Okay, theoretically, they try to get the best player for the best position.
And that's right. In other words, and the computer does that.
But
because there are thousands of players that come out of college every year.
If there was a NFL team right now with no black folks on it, we would be asking the question.
No, we wouldn't.
Donald,
I've
lived too long.
That is a hypothetical
that
is not going to happen at this point in time. Do you know why? Do you know why?
What?
Because the players, the majority of them come from the developmental leagues and college.
Okay.
And some of them come out.
If you
most
believe
of them
that,
come out. That's where they come from.
I know where they come from, but if there was an NFL team with all white players on it right now,
okay. Do you know the 11 players that they chose?
I don't care. I don't like Green Bay.
You have I think a couple of players from Georgia.
Right. I don't care where they came from. She just asked the
what
question.
I'm saying is she just asked the question. Right. And the only reason that was printed because it's in the New York Post. Right. And they keep issues like that going all the time. Right. Racial issues are in the New York Post all the time. That's what they do. Okay. They're just a tabloid that bring up a non-issue and make it an issue. Okay. And what I was saying to you, it is impossible for a team to win based on color.
Well,
that's why
you gotta have talent.
Now,
I mean, you gotta have talent. I got that
right now.
Yeah.
Do you hear people at Alabama State complaining about the majority of the players coming from South America?
I do.
Do you? I said at Alabama State.
Well, no,
you're not at Alabama State. You don't understand why there are.
But
do you know that? Have you ever seen the tennis team at Alabama State?
No.
It's all white. Have you ever seen majority white? Have you ever seen the bowling team at Alabama State?
No.
It's majority white. So what I'm saying is, only people like you who make race an issue out of things. But the students don't look at it as a big issue.
My thing has always been, are you telling me with all the people around in America, a nation of 330 million people, that we have to import our athletes? There's something wrong with that.
They get the best no matter where they are.
You mean
right now?
330 million people, we don't have anybody as good?
Right now.
Yeah.
Do you know who one of the best players on the Boston Celtics is?
Mm-hmm.
He's from the Dominican Republic.
Okay. And again, if you're the best, that's fine.
Do you realize that in 1 year, I know personally a scout for the NBA, and the top 10 players a few years back were all from foreign countries. The top 10. So you're talking about.
So what we're saying is that we don't have the best.
No, what I'm saying is the computer says that these are the best people who will line up with you, no matter where they are in the world.
Right.
There are people of all nationalities on American teams, especially baseball.
And that's fine. If you've exhausted your talent in America, I'm good for that.
What you have is there are people all over the world. It is a business, and they want the best, no matter where they come from, no matter what their color, no matter what their country.
Then we're gonna export our jobs and import our athletes.
Hey, look, do you realize
something's wrong with that?
How many Americans are playing in the European League?
We pay more in this league, in our league.
Wait a minute. I'm saying to this, there are developmental leagues in Europe that have quite a few American players. Okay?
Yeah.
So it is a worldwide industry.
All right.
Okay.
I'm with you, I guess. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you today?
I'm just wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Have you seen the commercial where the little girl, and she's white, little pickup game, and she's picking who's going to be on her team, and Charles Barkley standing there?
Yeah, she picked Charles Barkley.
I saw that.
Yeah.
She doesn't care whether whatever race he is, she just wants to win.
She wants the best.
She wants the best. And he says, I told you. but anyway, you know what? There's not an ugly cheerleader on Green Bay's team. They only pick real pretty ones.
That's right.
That's kind of discriminatory.
No, it's not. I don't think so.
Wait a minute. According to Donald, we don't be looking at the eye. we just be looking for something. But he said, no, that's got nothing to do with it. I said, how can we sexualize every cheerleader, baseball, volleyball woman, Miss USA? We put them on skimpy stuff and put them out there. And I'm good to see it. I'm glad, but
we all like good-looking women. Okay.
Okay, I'm good.
But we don't dwell on it. We don't all dwell on it.
Not publicly, but secretly we do.
It's like fine wine or fine art, Don.
Right. I agree with you, and that's what I was telling Kevin.
Yeah.
I like fine wine, but I don't drink it all day.
Okay.
Exactly.
Listen.
Hey, please explain to me, with all of the world problems that we've got going on, including the baby formula, just to name a front burner issue, but all of the problems we got going on with the gas, the inflation, I can keep going on. Why yesterday did they open up a committee and waste time in Congress to focus on UFOs?
Because some of them from them places.
You know, that's a very good question. I have wondered, why is this issue of UFO being focused on?
Because we do have some.
Well,
I mean, they were holding up pictures, and they're all looking at it, saying, "Well, yeah, that could be one, but I'm not sure."
Okay, you know why? Let me tell you why. Because in the annals of time, and somewhere in Washington, D.C., or out there in Arizona or New Mexico, we got one. Okay, we got one. We got one of them UFOs, and they prepping us. Okay, so when they bring it out, we won't be all confused. We got one.
Well, if you take that first drink,
wait a minute. In the Bible, it said God created the heavens and the earth. It didn't say there wasn't anybody else.
Switching gears.
Okay.
Switching gears. Hey, I heard on this radio station yesterday that next week Congress is going to consider, and they got, I think, 6, 7, 8 Republicans going to join in with them on proposing $52 million to be given to the restaurant industry.
Oh, that's going to make the food go up even more.
Well, wait a minute. I understand why they gave them the millions of dollars when COVID, because
right.
They were locked down and nobody could go into the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're going to give them $52 million because they can't find anybody to work in the restaurants. It's a very efficient, effective government that we have. It amazes me every day.
Well, if you think that's if you think that's effective, wait till we get on what happened at the city council meeting last night. I mean, you think that's confusing. Wait till we talk about them. Okay.
Well, Mayor, if you would run for Congress and get elected,
you
would never have to worry about a toothache again. You'd be on that congressional insurance.
Yeah.
You'd be set for life.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. But I want to be a regular person like you and everybody else. Okay. Yeah, I don't want that special privilege. And except when it comes to gas, and I can get a cheaper gas from, I'll be all right. But anyway, 860-1440. Yesterday, there was city council meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever watch it?
Not really.
Okay, so you really didn't know what's going on. And I don't want to say. First of all, I don't know if I could do a much better job than most people that are on the city council. Right. But I would imagine if I took the time to learn the process, to learn things. But their issues with our city council sometimes got nothing to do with them knowing the issues. It's procedural to me, and I ain't talking about the rules of Roberts and all that other good stuff. I'm talking about
Masons.
Whatever it is. See, that's what I'm talking about. That. I don't understand why it seems to be so confusing working down there. A lot of people have been on that city council a long time. They have meetings outside the purview of the public.
And no, they don't.
Well, they do. They got work.
Work session is public.
It's public, but hardly nobody goes to it. Okay,
right, but it's still public.
Right, they have it, but they have those meetings before the regular meeting, and then they come to the regular meeting and they still confused. So what I can't understand, then why have the meeting before the meeting?
Or are you confused?
Oh no, I'm comprehend a lot of things.
Give me what you're talking about. I mean, you're saying something, but that's your opinion of what you saw. What was confusing?
It's not okay. I'll give you a second. I'll give you my example in a second. Good morning.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Fine. How are you? Good morning.
I'm doing wonderful. It's interesting how you started your show this morning talking about competitive professional leagues and such like that. And Dawn's right. This is all about a business. You know, we currently have a woman who's a star in the WNBA that's been arrested in Russia. And her agent was asked, why in the world is she paying in the European leagues? And he said it's because she makes 7 times the amount of money playing in the European leagues than she does playing in the WNBA.
Right.
We currently have a new startup professional golf tour in the Arab states, primarily held by Saudi Arabia, I believe it is. Qatar is involved, and the other Arab nations. Paying so much more astronomical money purses than what you have in the PGA.
Right.
And they're stealing PGA players there. And Phil Mickelson, who was the defending champion at the PGA Tour, endorsing it. This league actually just offered Jack Nicklaus $100 million if he would be the spokesperson for this league. These businesses, and let's face it, whether it's NBA, NFL, whatever, they want the best players.
Period.
You know, I watched a movie last week, 42. It's about Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in the major basketball leagues. It's a wonderful, inspiring story of the racism that he endured, the laws where he could not even take the field in various states, especially in the South. You know, we have progressed so much as a nation, and the reason why the Brooklyn Dodgers initially drafted him was because they saw the changes coming in America. These men came back from the war and was immediately put back under Jim Crow laws. There was a lot of social engineering, justifiably. That was the motive initially, but like the owner said, I want to win a World Series. I want to compete. And so it's a fact. You can go to AUM right now and look at who is on their tennis teams, mainly international players.
Well, I got a problem with that. I got a serious. We have 330 million people in America, and if you're telling me that somewhere in some ghetto, somewhere that there isn't a child just as good as some of these people we import, I would have to call everybody a damn lie, because we don't go after them. We don't go after them, and we don't want to train them.
They're fundamentally sound.
How many Arthur Ashes in the ghettos are playing right now as compared to...
It's kind of hard to play in a ghetto when you're getting shot at.
Do you understand how many of the NFL punters now are from Australia?
Sure.
The rugby and such like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could put 45 men on an NFL squad, they want the best 45 they can find.
And I tell you that we have players have the same potential as those other people do. Sammy Sosa and all these guys. Hey, they may do it because they don't see the reason why they're good, because they don't have anything to do in those countries but play sports.
They don't care about the person's potential. They care about the results.
Well, again,
you could be an Einstein theory on a squad.
Right.
If you don't deliver when millions of dollars are on whether that man can kick a field goal or not.
So you tell me in the Appalachians, in the Appalachians with all the folks up there and down south, we don't have people of same or equal or better quality as the things people we import? I just won't ever believe that.
You don't think those guys in Appalachia have the same opportunity, but when it gets down to on the field, they don't perform. Because here's the deal: if you have two people in front of you, candidate A and candidate B, the question is, which is the better kicker? As an example, since we're talking about, in this case, I'm using a field goal kicker.
Yeah, well, I got to go to a break, but we can talk about this again. I got to go to a break. We'll be back. We'll be back. Export our jobs, import our athletes. Something about that picture don't look right. We'll be back.
Do you know an NBA player can make more money in China than he can in the United States? Do you know why?
Because they got more people.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you go to Russia. I mean, just about every guy that's drafted is not going to play.
True. That's true.
Okay.
But at what cost?
But every guy that's drafted is going to play somewhere more than likely. Not necessarily in the United States, not necessarily in the NFL. Same thing in basketball.
I mean, same thing.
In baseball, in other words, baseball is a game of numbers. Everything, your statistics on how many times you go to bat, how many times you hit, how many times you hit a home run, and it works by a computer. And the computer has it. You have kids in the Dominican Republic who have stats better than players in college here. So quite not, it's numbers. All you do, see, it's easy in baseball. That's why they do it. In baseball, you can get the stats on a player who's in high school right now. And you can look at his stats. You know exactly what he's going to do because it's individual achievement. See, baseball is a game of individual achievement. So I mean, it don't matter what everybody else on the team do, but you're going to do the exact same thing every time.
How come everybody on the team I can probably pronounce their name? So we don't have any
That's
players
because
in America.
First of all, they play baseball year round. Second of all, they're more fundamentally sound.
Hey, guess what? If they made some decent, if the Park and Recreation, whoever, if we made some decent baseball fields around here in these cities in America,
right now, how many high school baseball teams are there in Montgomery?
Lee's got one. I know Lee's got a baseball team. Yeah, they do.
They don't even have a field.
Lee's got
they practice one, but it's not. They don't even have a field, so they have a team every now and then. They don't have it every year. They don't have enough players every year to play baseball. Think about what I'm saying to you. Baseball is not as popular.
So it's not like it's our fault that they don't gravitate toward it because we're not providing them
the interest is not there. The interest is not there.
We have to make it interesting.
Look, no, the kids would be interested in what they're interested in.
Right.
Okay, my son played baseball starting in kindergarten. It was T-ball, had a ball on there. There were like 100 T-ball teams when my son was playing T-ball, right? Then he went into coaching. Then he went into baseball. But by the time he got to high school, there was hardly anyone who was interested in baseball. You get what I'm saying? I saw that.
Wait a minute.
No, it's the kids.
Right. But if nobody's interested in baseball, who's paying all these salaries for these people playing?
I didn't say nobody. I say the kids who traditionally would have been playing it. But the interest is still there. You just have different kids who are doing it. So now you have kids who come from South America who are still interested. You go and look at the baseball team over at Alabama State. And it doesn't matter about color either now. Because you have whites on the team too now.
Well, I don't know. You cannot tell me.
And see that issue. See, and what my whole point was, it was a non-issue that no one has ever brought that up because it's irrelevant. Because if you know how the players are chosen, you know darn well it has nothing to do with race.
They picked the all-white team and no black folks. Somebody would be complaining.
No, what I'm saying is that's not going to happen. See, that's a scenario that's not going to happen. They will be foreign before they will be white.
What was that? The one thing?
Look, man, go to any college. What college you see when the colleges play? What does it look like? I don't care where they're from.
Then are black students, black athletes superior to white?
You have more superior black athletes because of their interests. Okay. Because see, if they see, because they see, who do you see on all the commercials? Okay, Michael Jordan. You see Charles Barkley.
Training.
So if they focus on, I can be a superstar just like him, very few become superstars. Remember when the majority of black boxers, there was a time black boxers didn't exist.
Well, that's true. Jack Jones.
Johnson.
Energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought the problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Are you a patient who has been diagnosed with sleep apnea and are being treated with a Philips CPAP machine that has been recalled? There's another successful way to treat this problem, and that is with the oral sleep appliance. It is recommended by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine for anyone who cannot tolerate or use CPAP. It is covered by most medical insurances and is offered by Dr. Michael Irwin, a Montgomery orthodontist who has been successfully treating sleep apnea patients for the last 30 years. Left untreated,
it's a business.
Medical associations of high blood pressure,
and now they have made the playing field even more even. NIL has made it even.
What's NIL?
Name, image, and likeness.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what school.
I would say, but I don't think you should pay college students for the name and likeness.
If you can pay a coach $100 million, and the guy that's out there playing for him only gets his room and board free and tuition, why he can't make some money?
I think you got to be given a stipend, but not be paid for your name and likeness.
Name, image. In other words,
because if it wasn't for that college, nobody would hear about it.
No,
wouldn't nobody hear about it.
If it wasn't for you, that college wouldn't hear about it. Right? That's the way it works.
Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened to my music there. It's gone someplace. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds you well. Let's go back phone crack before I get back to our city council. That was the main thing I want to talk about today because they confused me last night. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
City council, if you agree with them, they'll let you in the meeting. If you're in the meeting, you don't agree with them, they'll put you out. So, for all intents and purposes, we have no representation. I'm going.
All righty then. 860-1440. Anyway, one of the things, okay, recently we've been talking about all this ARPA money, our American Rescue Plan, whatever.
Right.
We had money out the wazoo.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, Arthur Graham, after some discussion with the board, they were saying there needs to be another study, which is going to cost us $6.2 million for another study about water and sewage and things of that nature. And she looked at me, I was in amazement. Wait a minute. The same problem we've always had. We've studied them and studied them and studied them. So why in the world do we need to pay $6.2 million or 6 point something million dollars for another study of the water when that money can be used to fix a lot of the problems? I don't get that. Now Calhoun said, well, we got to do this, we got to do. Well, it seems like to me this money has been distributed out to people so somebody get paid, because we don't need a study. Another study? we really? That's something that we need? That doesn't make any sense to me. Everybody in this town knows what the needs are in some of these areas who have been incorporated into the city over the years, who don't have access to the same thing that the people who've been incorporated initially. So, what I don't understand, and I'm just I'm looking at the city council last night. I'm confused. So we need another study to study what was studied before. So we're going to pay somebody millions of dollars that money could be used to fix up the things they've been studying. So do we have a case of incompetence, or do we have a case where people are getting paid because we got so much money? I don't know. I'm confused. But you didn't see the meeting, so
I didn't see the meeting, so I can't comment on what they were talking about.
Yeah,
but I do know that people know that there's a problem, but they don't know what the cause of the problem is.
After 30 years?
No, they don't know all of the causes of the problems, and that has changed over the years. In other words, for instance, where I live, there's an area that was in the 100-year floodplain and is now in the 50-year floodplain. Now, what happened to make that change over the past few years? So there have been some, and then there was a big project that was on Decatur Street that was part of the Janetta Ditch revitalization plan. Now, what happened? I mean, you couldn't see what was going on because it was under the ground. So there are a lot of problems that may have been addressed one way that may need to be addressed another way now. Because if you ever go down, well, it looked like it took 2 years for them to work on Decatur Street, and that they were working on Janetta Ditch, but you couldn't see it because it was underground. So there are problems that we have throughout the city that there may have been a solution some years ago when a study was done, maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, to correct a lot of the problems that we have with water and sewage, that is a very complex problem. And the way to spend this money, you want to make sure you spend it so that you don't correct the problem. Okay. Now, so that's what I'm saying about it. I don't know what the discussion was. I just know that it is a very complex problem when you talk about water and sewage.
We are paying a company, Levitate, $42,000 a month to tell us what we can spend the money on. Now you're telling me now, after $42,000 a month, almost $500,000 we're paying people, now we got to take another study to study what we want to do.
Well, if you have a company, just from what you just said,
right?
If you have a company who tells you the guidelines for you to spend the money, then if they're telling you you need to do this before you spend the money, that means that they have looked into something that needs to be addressed, not just to be spending money.
Right.
If that's their job, they're telling you what you have now is not sufficient for you to spend the money. You need to do this.
So we're going to spend $6 million of that money.
I don't know how much it is. You're saying that. I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is, if you have someone who is giving you the guidelines,
no wonder the people in Montgomery are all frustrated.
Well,
about all this.
You're trying to get too deep in the weeds and make it simple when it's a complicated issue. Because
that's why we're paying somebody $42,000 a month to make it simple.
And I've said it over and over again. I will never in my life accept a dime of federal dollars because it's too complicated. There are too many hoops you have to jump through and too many controls that you have to go through. And there are too many guidelines that you have to follow. And if you go wrong, you have to pay that money back.
Let them come get it. Get it from all of us. Good morning, you're on air.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Just like Ms. Graham said, you gonna come and pay another lady $50 after you already hired a company to pay you health insurance.
Right.
But now it's some cost whatever you want to call it out there in that yard. She's right. Kelly is right that they had the meat outside the meat. Everyone knows you eat your butter before you have the main meat, two main meat, work session and regular session. You gonna discuss it. They have another meat to discuss it before they had this to work session. She was right. Now you telling her to fight. You back at square one again. Then when you call the county commissioner up there and tell you that this is what we decided in our meeting, two things are made that we need to do. You don't want to accept what we said because you have already, Mr. Calhoun and others, decided you need that other third brother to give you a support, which you do not need. That's your job. I said we paying you to study, investigate, and research. That's what they voted you in for. That's what people do every day on the federal side.
But and it seems right. Well, yeah.
Why don't you get up off your end and do your part, investigate and study, research, and you gonna pay a third person? She's right about this. You said round about 6 minutes. You can go on Facebook right now. City of Montgomery. Type in City of Montgomery meeting. It was you can view it yourself every day, 24/7. It's online. Everybody has a phone.
Yeah.
And look up City of Montgomery Facebook page. You can see the meeting right now.
Yeah, it was a little bit confusing.
You got Teddy. He's white. And look out.
Yeah.
You can't talk about Miss Johnson being missing from a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Your fellow be missing Lions be missing not only from the work session, but he be missing from the meeting.
Well, 4 people were missing yesterday. Yeah, 4 people were missing yesterday. From the yeah. Well, he's not running anymore, so he ain't paying us no attention. Yeah, why? Well, wait a minute. I'm not in his district. I'm not in his district anymore. I'm in Marsha Johnson district. Well, yes, I did. But he didn't care. Wait a minute. Brantley Line didn't give a crap what we said. Okay. All right. Well, my street looked good. We only got 1 pothole on Federal Drive. We good. Well, my car must be a little bit tougher than yours. Me and Jelly Bean. Yeah, okay. Well, I gotta take a break. I gotta go. We'll be back after this commercial message. Ooh.
Y'all got it all mixed up on the job of the city council person.
Then they shouldn't take the jobs. They shouldn't promise things that they cannot do. They shouldn't do it. But and we don't have a mixed up. That's just the way I talk. I talk the same way all the time. We're not confused about what their job as a collective body is look out for the welfare of this city.
Right.
Okay, that's their job. Now, how they get it done?
The information. See now, the information has to come through them through the administration. That's why we have a mayor, and he has his different people who are in charge of things. That's how it's done here. The city council doesn't direct anything. If you've been given a directive, and see, this is, you know what? It doesn't matter whether people are black or white. People just don't trust them because they think, okay, you're getting paid this, you need to know. You don't automatically know anything.
That's why they meet. That's why they have meetings.
Okay, so now when they tell you, okay, we need a meeting, and then if there's a disagreement among council people, there's a reason. Now it's because they're trying to get jobs for their buddies. This is what I'm hearing from people. They're just trying to get some jobs for their buddies. Okay? You really think that the only concern that those 2 city councilmen that said something that they thought this need to be done, they just want to get that buddy a job?
Are you coming? Or are you calling in? Which one? Two 241-9998 is my number. I've had for 15 years. No, well, this is the one. I threw all the rest of it. I got my phone changed. I got one number, 241-9998. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, and now Sankey was there yes last night, and I didn't really get what he what he was saying is that the things you guys voted on were different than the things they were allegedly. Yes. Yeah. Mm. Well, we just it's so confusing. It's like everybody don't know what the hell's going on. The left on. So by the time we get that paying $42,000 a month to levitate, we ain't gonna have no money left. Okay. All right. Well, you need to call in, man, and let's talk about this next hour. All right.
And that's what you see. That's what needs to happen. Someone it's something different other than you just see. You're just putting one issue over here. It's more than what that sewer. If you spend the money on something else, then now we got to do something else.
Right. Don't mind them spending the money on because these people.
But that's what they're saying. This is not about the sewer.
Right.
It's about what else you put in. See, they've already had a meeting with the county. That's what he's saying. See, you didn't put that in there.
That's a couple weeks
and this
ago.
we agreed to this, and this. Right. So now it's city council meeting. The mayor's office has put in this, and this. So now you've got something different. That's what I'm saying. It's not about getting. Now we got. Can you do that? That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it was, but it's something different.
And don't forget, next week, of course, we got Top Gun coming. Out of all the worries I have, I just got to see Top Gun. I don't care if everybody in town got COVID. Y'all come too. We get it together. But I'm gonna watch this movie. Me and Z, our first outing in a while. Anyway, I guess this morning, of course, is Mr. Jenkins. He's our Wednesday guest. Let's go back to the phone and see who's been here longer. Let me see here. Okay, this guy right here. Good morning on there.
Morning, fellas.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Can we simply classify the city council as politicians right on?
Well, I mean, everybody's in politics is a politician, so yes.
Yeah. So, for some reason, these people think that these people are both stupid and ignorant that live in these neighborhoods. I mean, unlike you, Kevin, you've been studying this thing for over 30 years. It's like I'm gonna use a little thing here. They want to do a study why a tadpole fits in the water, okay? And 20 years later, they're going to try to wonder and figure out how he fits, why he fits in the water. Then they're going to come to the conclusion, that might be where he lives. So, look, the thing is, he did one study, okay? So, just like somebody got cancer, you studied that this guy may have cancer. So, if you don't fix it, it's going to spread, right?
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah, it's going to spread or kill you down the road if you don't take care of it. Same thing with the sewage thing. So, you're going to let it go on and on and on and on. Study. The poop's going to come to the top of the ground after a while. People.
All right.
You think that would be happening if this happened over Bear Creek area or somewhere down in that area, Pike Road? You think those people allow that to happen this long?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
They flooded the city hall.
Yeah.
And demanded it to be fixed.
Yeah.
So the people in the neighborhood need to flood the city hall.
Yeah.
And demand it get fixed.
Okay. And hopefully that's what they're going to do. 860-1440. I did have a couple phones. If you guys want to text me, it's 241-9998. I finally got rid of all them other phones. I just got one phone, 241-9998. So now you can't miss me no more. I just got tired of paying two phones when I'm not that important. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's all about hate and money, my friend. God told him back a long time ago, I see what's going on, and I'm going to do something about it. But what I'm going to do about it, you won't believe. So what we got to do, my friend, look around the world today as we speak. God is doing something about it. And we got to repent. Have a good day, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Good morning on there.
Good morning, Don.
Good morning, sir.
Have a good day.
Every day is a good day above ground.
You right, Don. Hey, Don, help me out with this. Is white boy a bigoted term?
No.
Okay, do you mind if I call you forward for the rest of the thing?
No problem.
Okay, boy. Now, does the Level Page have any civil engineers?
I don't know anything about the company.
If you gave Kevin $6 million, would he just be all right just jump out there with a backhoe and start digging?
I don't know. First of all, I don't have $6 million to give him. Well, I mean, where are you going with this question?
Yeah, let's get to the question,
Yeah,
but we got about a minute and a half left.
If you had sewers down Madison Park or wherever it is, would that fix the problem?
Do you not believe that over the last 30 years they haven't had civil engineers? No. But do you not believe that people haven't studied this and had civil engineers out there already to know about the problem?
You know we got a plan. Do you realize it takes drawings, plans, and stuff to do anything?
It don't take 30 years to do anything.
Okay, well let me ask you, if they had sanitary sewer running down the street in Madison Park, would it fix the problem?
Well, I'm not an engineer, and I don't work for the city, so I wouldn't know what fixed the problem.
Fix the problem because those people have septic tanks, and someone's going to have to pay for them to connect to the
the guy that's aren't you entitled to certain city? No, but aren't you entitled to certain city services if you're a part of the city? 7 of them, I think. Garbage.
No. There has to be a connection to the
right,
side.
but those people are entitled. If they're part of the city, they're entitled.
No, the city only runs it to the lateral. From the lateral to your house, that's on you.
Or the developer who put it in there.
Well, no, it's on you. If you have a house there, you have to pay. Someone has to pay from it going from the lateral to your house.
I would imagine the first.
You can put the sewer in now. Now there's a separate charge to go from that's called the lateral. I think that's where he's going.
Well, I would imagine that. Well, I've never.
Now it's going to have to take funding too. That's a separate set of funding too, to go from the lateral to your house.
Yeah, but I never put a lateral in my house. It was already there when I got there.
Hold on. There is no lateral there. There is no sewage going to it. So when the sewage is put in, the city side will stop at the lateral. That'll be at the city property. Then from the city property to your house, that is a separate issue.
Right. Well, ever since Terrence Dawson was on the city council, which when I first heard that word, I think we know where it is and where it isn't. And at the 30 years,
there is no lateral there because there's no sewage.
Okay, well, whatever that means.
That means everything to the city side.
We'll be back.
WSFA 12 News
That's a separate issue.
on News Radio 1440.
In other words,
But they already know this. They
so
already
there,
know this.
that means you've got to plan how to go. See, you've got two issues.
30 years they ain't planned it yet.
Nope, it never did come up. Because see, if they put sewage in right now, there has to be a funding to go from your house to the lateral. See, the sewage, that's one thing. See, the city's only responsible to the city side.
Well, I got
You
that
have
part.
you have to get a plumber and go from
these
your
people-
house to the lateral.
Right, but these people have been
See, that's not
crying
city's
about this for
responsibility.
years.
Hey, that's part two. It's
So
two
why
parts
did
to
the
it.
city bring them into the city corporation?
That has
city?
nothing to do with it. They were already there.
These people have a right to the same services that anybody in the world
No, they
in the
don't.
city do.
No, they don't.
They do.
No,
They're
they
part
don't.
of the city.
No, they chose to be there. Just because they're in the city
Well,
doesn't
but
mean the city has no responsibility.
They're paying taxes. They're paying city taxes.
No, they were already there.
I understand that, but once you become part of the city, you pay city taxes for services.
You don't have to.
You pay garbage, water.
The developers put it in these new buildings. The developers put it in.
On the hour, your home for original
And then it
reporting.
connects to the city.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A day after the primaries, one key race considered a test of former President Trump's influences is still undecided. Former hedge fund CEO David McCormick still locked in a battle for the Republican Senate nomination in Pennsylvania. With TV Dr. Matt Oz, who got Mr. Trump's endorsement.
We are making a ferocious charge.
I'm watching a basketball game,
But when is this
and I go,
close?
why does he put the white guy in?
Everything about this campaign.
I mean, I say that all the time.
On an upset in a
Is that right?
contest in North Carolina.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm thinking,
Good answer.
is this guy trying to lose this game?
So did you admit that
There's only a few experts out there.
After a long and drawn-out fight, female athletes have made history off the field.
It's a huge win. The U.S. Soccer Federation has reached an equal pay deal with both its men's and women's national teams. Star player Megan Rapinoe was asked about the pay disparity in a CBS Mornings interview earlier this year.
Justice comes in the next generation never having to go through what we went through.
The U.S. women who have had back-to-back World Cup titles have earned far less than the men's winners. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Just in from Kyiv, a Russian soldier has pleaded guilty to murder in the shooting of a 62-year-old man on a bicycle. It's the first war crimes trial since Russia invaded in February. We're seeing a dangerous result of the baby formula shortage at a hospital in Memphis. A pediatric gastroenterologist says 2 children were admitted, both with short bowel syndrome, which prevents them from absorbing nutrients properly. Le Bonheur Children's Dr. Mark Corkins.
It's very alarming, especially during infancy. You know, it's the most rapid period of growth of our entire life.
Each child needs EleCare, an amino acid-based formula that was recalled by Abbott. A day at the beach turned deadly in New Jersey. Officials in Toms River say an 18-year-old died as he and his 17-year-old sister were digging a hole with frisbees, and it collapsed on them. Others are stunned.
I go to the beach, get them out with my friends and stuff like that. I've never seen anything like this happen. Yeah, it's crazy.
Police say the brother was crushed. The Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus making a comeback next year. CEO Kenneth Feld.
The return of the greatest show on earth will be the greatest show on earth. It will be an experience children of all ages will remember for a lifetime.
The new version will not include any animal acts. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results. Having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
A less invasive procedure shows strong promise for patients with a common heart condition. Here's CBS's Naomi Rocco.
British researchers have determined
So I guess you
a
got
less
your
invasive alternative to open
You know
heart
what?
surgery
The first
is
year
just as
when
effective
Booker
for
T.
patients
Washington
with a
closed
common
down in
cardiac condition. The
1969,
disease involves narrowing
they
of the
split that
valve
team
blood
up
flows
between
through when
Jeff
leaving the
Davis
heart.
and Lee.
It often requires surgery to correct.
Those guys
But
at
the new
Lee have
research
never
shows
had
that
never
inserting a
seen
small
a Mike
tube through an
Washington.
artery in the groin
They had
on
never
the
seen a
heart
Sullivan
is a
Walker.
safe and
They
effective
had never
alternative
seen
to an
guys
open
that
heart
big
procedure.
with that
Gas
fast
prices now
and
top
that talent.
$4 a gallon
It
in
just
every
happened.
U.S. state.
It was just two different leagues. They were just,
Then
Georgia,
I would
Kansas,
say
and
it's,
Oklahoma were the
is it
When I went to St.
training or is it
price
genetic?
of a gallon of regular is up to about 4 cents
part
from
of it is
yesterday.
genetic.
Okay.
I mean,
I would
how many
agree. I would agree.
athletic 7-foot people do you see that
Deborah
are?
Rodriguez.
There's not that many.
So would you agree then?
It's an oddity to see an athletic 7-footer
So
who's white.
would you then if the statement was made that whites traditionally, intellectually, are more influential, are more I don't want to use the word more intelligent. That's
No,
not true.
but you know what?
But
Watch
they are
this.
more. They train to be more leaders, and
No.
we train to be followers.
No, that's incorrect.
So you can't accept that.
Look at here's what you have. You have a lot of smart athletes.
Mm-hmm.
The coach at Alabama State University football team right now was a Toyota scholar.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the very few scholar athletes in the United States of America, and he went to Alabama State. Okay. Okay. He majored in biology. Okay. He's a very smart individual, and there are a lot of very smart black players.
Sure there are.
Okay. Michael Jordan is not a dumb person.
No.
LeBron James just finished high school, and he's not a dumb person. Okay. Remember, he only finished high school. And you see how smart he is? He is a billionaire because he's smart. Not just because he not only can play the sport, he's got a brain. And you've got so many, and that is repeated
I'm
over
trying
and
to
over
figure out
again.
where
Stephon Curry is a smart individual.
Where did the change come that we actually thought it's worth paying athletes more money than scientists?
That's been there. It's
Where
just
did that
more.
happen?
That's been there.
Okay.
That's been there. Jack Johnson was one of the highest paid athletes in the world, and he was black. The first black heavyweight. You want to know when it started? 1908.
And putting conservatives
Okay.
Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh.
But somewhere
When Jack Johnson became a millionaire boxing, that's when other kids wanted to be boxers. But he was just an oddity. It's very rare for a millionaire to come out of boxing. Okay? The majority of boxers make no money.
Defend our Second
Majority.
Amendment, fight for stronger borders, and
No,
make
it's
sure
always
America
been that way.
is energy independent.
Because the only ones you see on TV who are in these heavyweight fights, those are the only ones making money. You know, there's a down ticket on every thing. The guys on the down ticket don't make any money.
I'm Katie Britt.
It's just like when you go to a concert. The guys on the down ticket, they get paid $500 maybe. But then when the star comes in, it's going to be about 5 to 10 people that come out before the star comes in. See, everyone wants to be the star. Matter of fact, I know a guy. He does the down ticket on a lot of these big concerts. He gets paid $500 a watch. He's satisfied with that. He go on for 30 minutes, get paid $500 because everybody's there. See, that's part of the thing to lead up to. So you have the same thing in sports. There's not
like it really is.
richest athletes in the world.
It's the Dan
soccer
Bongino Show,
player.
weekdays from 11 to 2.
And a lot of them are black. And you look on the European League, you see black players on there. They don't have anyone in England who can play. They don't have anyone who in France who can play.
Now, before we get back to our show, let me talk to the fellas for a second. Now, one of the reasons why, if you're an athlete, the things ain't working for you, because you got low T. Okay, if you don't have that testosterone thing going, you just all messed up. So your potential is there, but your ability is kind of waned over the years. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to pick up that phone and call Montgomery Men's Health. 334-440-3663, because you need to call these folks up and see what's wrong with yourself. Okay? Now, are you feeling sluggish? You know, don't have much organizational skills anymore? You know, you feel tired all the time. Your libido's gone. I'm not exactly sure what libido is. I think it means that you kind of like losing it, you know, your desire. Well, call Montgomery Men's Health. Get that. They got a package for you for $99. They're gonna check your PSA, which is your prostate something, and they're gonna check your testosterone level. See, I mean, if the women got more energy than you, then my friend, you need to go check in with these guys and see. And your life will change. And they're only gonna cost you $99. Okay? That's right. If you want to change your life, okay, meet me over there today, and I'm going to get my teeth checked too. Although I'm all man, you know, some days are better than other days. So I need y'all to meet me over there. But, you know, call first or make your appointment. 440-3663. $99. Low T treatments can change your life. Okay? Because you're not meant to be weakling. You're meant to be a man and have the testosterone. You might get a little bit more muscle in you and get a little more energy. Okay? So go call right now. 334-440-3663. $99. The best $99 you can spend right now is getting your PSA and your low T checked and your testosterone level checked. Of course, on some colleges, having testosterone is not very good, but that's only the guys who don't know they need it. All right? Okay, we're back. I had to put that. Y'all need to go get Donna. You need to go get a low T thing. I mean, I don't know if you need to. I'm just saying you might. You ever had your testosterone check?
No.
Oh, you might want to do it.
Why?
Well, I don't know, just to make sure where you are.
Why?
Well, I mean, okay, because every man needs to know.
Do I look like I need to go?
No. See, it ain't the look.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you feel like.
Okay.
It's what you feel.
Well, I feel fine.
Okay. Well, you feel fine.
I feel fine.
But you know, it's kind of like knowing your checking account. You know, you got some money in the bank, but don't you want to know exactly how much?
Doesn't matter if you got it.
Okay. All right. Of course, I guess they say if you got so little that you can count it, I guess it don't make no difference.
Don't matter.
Okay.
It wouldn't matter.
All right. 860-1440 is the number here. We're talking about our city council, our county commission. We're talking about the test, after the test, and the test before the test. And then after they do the test, they got to do one more test to make sure the last test was right. Okay.
You might be giving disinformation.
No, I'm giving right information.
Because I don't know, and that's why we need someone to call in who's familiar with the meeting that the city council had with the county commission, and what was their agreement, and what was the presentation that was done on Tuesday.
Well, Commissioner
was
Sankey,
that exactly the same thing?
Well, Commissioner Sankey said when they voted, they didn't vote for everything that the city last night presented.
Okay, so now if that is the case, that means that now they have to have an agreement on what and are there some things that the city can do that the county can't do? See, that's a question that needs to be asked. Are there some things in the city portion that are different from the county that won't be a part of the county, and the county doesn't have to vote on it? These are the things that you need to know before you come on here and say that they're having a secret meeting and not telling people.
No, I didn't say that. Yeah. I said they had a meeting before the meeting.
But you're saying, and it's not.
It's called the work session. But after.
And I don't think it's. I may be naive, but I don't think that there's a deception here on either the city's part or the county's part.
I did not use the word deception. I used the word confusion.
You were implying.
No, I feel like confusion.
I think you're confused because and all you put out here was that there needed to be a study about X, and I don't know what X is.
Okay.
And if X was not in the portion that was agreed upon before, there needs to be a study of it. And that's what I'm saying.
So
and I don't
we-
know what that is.
So we need, and again, I'm just trying to
See,
find
from
a
the
logic
information
here.
I'm giving, see, I wasn't there. I didn't hear it.
You need to pay attention to them, city council.
Well, I know that they're making sausage. I don't need to see the sausage being made. And that's what's happening now. The sausage is being made, and people are saying, oh, that looks awful. That looks awful. But once it's
But this
packaged,
sausage is being
No, it hasn't
made
been.
for
No,
years.
No, it hasn't been.
Yes, it has been.
No, it hasn't
The
been.
people are crying in the wilderness out
The
there
sausage,
for the things
no,
that they
we
need.
knew that there was a problem, but there was not a solution to that problem. So now we have a possible solution to a problem, and let's see what that is. And it's not going to happen in an instant. People are
Instant? We're talking about for years. We're not talking about an instant
they have,
here.
Kevin, see, misinformation.
Okay.
They have not been working on that particular problem.
Then why
for
haven't
years.
they been working on it?
Because there was no money to work on that
And
problem.
now that we got money, now we're going to spend half that money out getting somebody
I
to
don't
tell us
know
if
how
we
much,
can if we
Kevin.
can do it.
I don't know how much of the money is being spent on,
$42,000 a month.
okay, on how to do it correctly.
Yeah, 42 grand a month.
Okay, so if you're spending the money to know how to do it correctly,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't, and
20
I can't answer.
Yeah.
I don't know all of the details. Okay.
Well, let me ask you something. As a regular citizen, as somebody who's not involved in politics, somebody who's not involved in policies and procedure, should not be able to peek into a meeting of the city council over the years and know exactly what they're talking about. Should not be able to ferret that out by listening to the conversation.
Not if you don't know how to listen.
But
You're not a listener.
Yeah, I'm a listener when I want to listen.
Okay. From me listening, you've heard bits and pieces. See, you have AD, attention deficit.
Okay.
I didn't say disorder.
But
So you hear bits and pieces and you pick out and then you bring it to the radio, certain things that you heard. Now, you heard a part about a salary being paid. See, this is the way you
Salary? I didn't think
the
about
salary
salary.
being paid for the advisory group. Okay.
Well, it's not a salary. It's their fee.
It's their fee. Okay.
Levitate.
Well, they're getting paid.
Right.
Whether you call
They're
it
getting-
salary
they're getting
or
paid, yeah.
Okay. You're more concerned with what they're being paid than what they are doing. What are they doing?
Well, they're supposedly counseling the city of Montgomery on the things legally they can spend the money on.
Right.
Okay. I guess they got almost $500,000 by now, and you telling me that we still don't exactly know what we can spend the money on?
I don't know what advice they have given them so far.
And
so
therein
I can't
lies the
comment.
problem. Therein lies the problem.
So I
And we
can't
do need
comment
to know.
on that.
We do need to know what they had a couple of meetings.
They can only tell you this is what I think has happened so far. They have given what they've seen so far on what the presentations are, and this is what you can spend the money on.
So let me ask this question.
As far as
Now, if I look at the city council people at doing their business, doing their work, and they're confused, how in God's name am I supposed to be assured of the things I know if they're confused?
the city council person knows no more than you or I. If they are given a directive, it would be as if the person came to you or I and said, Donald, this is how much you can spend on this. Okay, doesn't matter your position. A city council person has no more information, if you really want to get down to it, than you or I.
Then we got the wrong people in office then.
No, the
Yeah, we
only
do.
difference is they will vote on the things that they agreed on. Okay, now I don't know what they agreed to, and I don't know what the group has told them. This is what you can spend the money on. But what we do know from some conversations you had very recently, that there were some things that were not agreed upon at the county,
Right.
that the city has put in there. Now, those are the things, whatever they are, and I don't know what they are.
I guess what's
and I
bothering
cannot
me-
comment on
Okay,
them.
well, you know how I'll comment for you.
Well, go ahead.
Here's what I do know. Okay, we always talking about studying something. Studying. We've been ever since Martha Roby was on the city council, and I and her and she, Cornelius Calhoun would sit over there on Fairview Avenue and talk about genetic this and this is what we're going to do, facades and things like that. We've been talking. That was 1990 something. So we've been on this ticket for a long time.
There again.
And to and to get to the city council meeting last night and talk about spending $6 million for another study.
See, there again.
I
don't know. And what is that study for?
Waste. I believe it's wastewater and sewer.
Okay.
But we've been studying it for years.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
As if you're a city council person,
no, we haven't.
Wait. If you're a city council person that represents a particular part of the town of Montgomery, you should be studying it all the time.
No, you don't. You can't.
Why can't you?
You're not an engineer.
Get the engineer. When the city's got engineers, call them up.
No, they don't know.
What do you mean they don't know?
You look, Kevin. That is a specific job to do a specific thing. There was no funding to do that. There has not been the funding.
Aren't we paying salaries for engineers for the city of Montgomery?
That's not all. Hey, there are companies that specifically design those treatment facilities, etc.
But again, don't we have engineers?
That's not at the city of Montgomery, and then they're not a part of the city anyway.
Okay. Well, I'm confused. So we got representation that don't really know anything. What you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you want them to know things that an engineer should know.
I sure do. All they can do is pick up the phone and call them.
No, they can't.
Why can't they?
Because how are they going to translate that? And what would they do with the information? If I give you a piece of paper that has a bunch of calculus on it, and you don't understand calculus, what good would it do for me to give it to you? I'm
going to tell you to explain this to me.
Right.
Okay. And in layman's terms, explain this to me.
And what can you do with it?
I would at least in my
First, you got to have the money to do that.
Okay. We got the money now. And that's why they should have already known. So these
arguing. See, in other words, we're arguing about something
but
neither one of us know exactly what we're talking about.
I got some common sense here.
What it does, it makes me look stupid and you look stupid.
No,
that we're arguing about something we don't even know what we're talking about.
This is common sense math.
No, it's not.
You have a problem for 30 years. You study the problem for 30 years, and now that you get money, now you got to study the problem some more.
Wait a minute. You say we have a problem. That's where you're wrong. What is the problem?
The problem is we got too many people out here who don't have access to the same services that every other citizen has in the city
that's
of
longer
Montgomery.
than 30 years.
Exactly.
That problem was there. That problem was there when they put those trailers there and those houses.
Exactly.
Okay? It wasn't a problem then. Why is it a problem now?
Because they're paying city taxes now, and they deserve to have the same service everybody else does.
No, it wasn't a problem when they put it there, whether they were in the city or the county. Okay? If they were not in the city, would they have sewage from the city then?
That was then. It's not now. They wasn't paying city services. They wasn't authorized city services.
How much more do they pay to be in the city?
I know they're paying more. I don't know how much more.
How much, and what do they pay it in?
Well, I don't know. I just know they pay it.
In what form are they paying more money to the city of Montgomery by being in the city?
Well, they're going to pay water. They're going to pay. I imagine sewage if they got sewage.
No,
they're going to pay for garbage.
Water is not the city of Montgomery.
But we do have representatives.
They already had water
on the water board.
They already had water.
Yeah. Okay.
So they still have water. So what are they?
But doesn't that water have?
I'm asking you a question.
Well, I don't live out there.
What are they paying more to be a part of the city's jurisdiction?
Well, they got to be paying something.
What are they paying?
Well,
well, see, you're guessing. I know exactly what it is, but I'm not going to say. You are saying they're paying more.
Okay, but you just said something though. They're paying more. They're paying more.
Yeah, and I know exactly.
Well, but they're still paying it. And they.
You know what? The only thing they pay more is a city tax, property tax. And how much is that a year?
They're still paying it.
It's about $10 a year.
Well,
would $10 a year justify the city spending millions of dollars?
Well, if you go to the theory that all citizens are entitled to the same services, yes.
But you have to get the money from somewhere to do it.
We got plenty of money.
So we didn't have. See, you say 30 years, but it's more than 30 years. And most of those were, as far as I know, mostly trailers, really. And then, there were a lot of them. I'm not going to say mostly, but there were a lot of them. And they had septic tanks.
Yeah. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
Good morning, Donald.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? Couple things. The part you started the show off with, you like to say, "Oh, that's boring." I think that was more interesting, and it's all shrouded in with the same problem. in the NFL, the players union. In Alabama, it's the public service, the public employees union. You know, Huntsville was voted the best city in the country. They talk about the entrepreneurs and all that. All of those people up there are government contractors. 87% of the people in this country live and get a check from the government. So is it fair to say we're socialists? But anyway, back to Milwaukee and Green Bay. There was a running back in Alabama. His name was Lacey. He was probably one of the best running backs I've ever seen. I mean, Jim Brown, all of them. OJ. And he went to Green Bay. Now, I don't know what happened to him. He only lasted a couple of years, or if somebody knows, bring it up. He didn't finish Alabama. But he did make it to the pros. But one of the things, I'm going to go science on it. To avoid the players union, and I know a guy that gets $50,000 a month retirement from the NFL. To be profitable, just like Bezos and Google and all of them, you got to get rid of employees. You got to get rid of people. That was the worst thing for a business is employees, because you got to pay them. So the retirement in the NFL cuts into their profit. But it's so cold up there. In Lambeau Field, I think that's the name of it, in Wisconsin, that most of those black players, they don't make the 10-year cut to get a retirement check. Hell, they can't stand the weather. They'll end up arthritic and all kinds of problems, unless you were conditioned and lived in that part. But they're getting a lot of their players from down here, southeast. And that cold weather takes a toll on them. That's my contribution.
All righty then. Anyway, 860-1440. Somebody sent me a word that says that here's their take on it. It said that the city council wanted to see what the county commission was going to do. The county commission wanted to see what the state was going to do. No one wanted to commit the ARPA money to the sewage projects. It says a study or I'll look into it is a safe way of saying I don't know. It said ADEM and the waterworks were involved, so they understand the science behind it. The same tax millage rate for everyone is for everyone else. So anyway, I don't, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I do know one thing: you can't keep telling people every year that you don't have money, and then you got money, and now you got to do another study on top of the study that you did and pay $6 million to do the study. And I asked, I'm at the same question Montiel would ask. Well, who's getting the money? Who's doing the study?
Mm-hmm.
I just $6 million bucks. If we don't know what the problem is by now, after all of these years, then somebody should be bring
how much is it going to cost to fix the problem? You know what? If you did a study right now, I think it would come up and say that it would be so cost prohibitive to do what needs to be done.
So we write them all? Do we write them all?
Yeah, move. It would be cheaper to relocate them than it would be to run sewage out there.
Let me see who this is. Good morning. Commissioner, tell me that I'm lost.
Good morning. Thank you for calling.
And I have missed most of the last 15, 20 minutes, but before that, he was spot on that, there is sewage infrastructure that you still have to tap in, to get on private to the sewer system. And if we we've already run a study, we know it will cost, let me just give you some figures. There's 1,200 homes inside the city limits of Montgomery that do not have access to sewer. They're on septic. Watson Circle, Atlanta Highway is on septic. Bell Road, Capmore Drive, $1 million homes out there. Many of those are on septic, but they have good septic systems and they maintain them, and the soil is better. There's about 400 of the 1,200 homes inside the city limits of Montgomery that need to be addressed. Madison Park, Old Summer Road, Hunter Station, maybe some in Macedonia, and maybe a scattering of other parts of the city. Bell Road has septic down, I think it's Dr. Bronner who lives. So there are septic systems out there. I've got septic. I live in in Pike Road. I got a septic system. I maintain my septic system. I don't have any issues. But
Let me ask you a question, Commissioner. Let me ask you a question. Sorry. Last night, Councilman Calhoun was talking about this $6 million study. Is there a study necessary after all these years?
We've got all that. I can identify to now in those pocket areas which homes would probably need new septic systems. And now some of those homes in those areas that I mentioned may say, hey, our septic system works fine. I don't want you digging in my yard. I'm fine. Mine works. I clean out my filter every 6 months. I have it pumped out every 10, 15 years. A septic system should last about 50 or 60 years without any problems if you maintain it. Now, where the problem actually starts with the soil, we had clay soil, so a lot of times the soil wasn't one allowed it to, perk and everything, but, no, we don't need another study. I mean, we know we've got 1,200 homes, Montgomery Water and Sewer has identified. I've got all the maps, I've got all that stuff. I've met with the experts on waste disposal, as far as septic systems. You take a neighborhood like the Waters out in Pike Road, they're on a decentralized septic system. And that's what we will probably look at doing, just like sewer. There's no difference. Flush it, it goes away, it don't come back. And we're going to look at doing stuff for those people in those communities. I don't need another study. I know for $6 million, $6 to $9 million, I think we can fix all the problems for everybody that wants to be fixed that has a septic system.
Okay, let me take a break. Hold on for a second. Let me take a little break. We'll be right back with you. And I want to ask you about this relationship between the city and the county commission right now. And is there some miscommunication going on there? We'll be back.
Brought to you by Brubaker Motors.
I'm glad he called.
On News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Indeed.com.
Well, I know we don't need to spend $6 million for another study.
There's Indeed.
I know that.
Powerful hiring platform.
They've been studying.
In other words,
studying,
and I see, and like I said, I don't know what the study is, and he clarified exactly. Okay, we already know what the problem is, and that, so that's clear now. And now I know exactly what the study was for. The sewer system. That's that exactly. See, I don't know. I didn't hear it.
And the mayor did say something last night. He said, the great preponderance of people who are in the county live within the city limits.
Mm-hmm.
So I would guess the great preponderance of the money needs to be spent in the city.
Well, I think what he just told you, there are only a few people who really are complaining. Because a sewer system, a septic tank can last 50 years anyway. All you do, and it would be cheaper to pay those people if they got a bad sewer system, pay them if their soil can handle it. It would be cheaper to get them a new sewer system, new septic tank.
On this program, I've been saying this for
as opposed to spending millions of dollars to put in a sewer system with just a few.
But at some point, even if they put a septic tank in, at some point, in the next couple of decades, they're going to need to replace that.
50 years after. Look, I know a guy that lives off Old Selma Road. He's lived in a house about 50-something years. And he's got a septic. He's never had a problem.
Bigotry.
Okay.
You don't experience the laws and horrific laws of life or political gain. Democrats.
I don't know what the soil is in the areas in Madison Park that people are having a problem.
Keeping you on the straight
And
path.
bottom line,
Later today,
9 times out of
it's the
10,
Sean
it's
Hannity
the person who
Show.
has the septic tank that is the problem.
And whether you're moving
If you
into a
don't
new home
maintain
or
it
you just want to give your home a whole new feel, you can start with custom window
Like I
treatment
said, at the
from
Waters, they have
Blinds.com.
a-
At
what is
Blinds.com,
it?
they have
Like
the
a
selection and
unified
the
septic
expertise to help you customize your perfect
Well, it's
window treatments.
decentralized.
Plus,
Y'all
they
ain't know
have
what a sewer
showrooms,
tank-
retail
sewer tank
markets,
looks like.
Blinds.com
Septic
will
tank.
connect you with
It's a
design
tank.
consultants and
It's
local
in the ground.
pros for installation. So shop
Basically.
Blinds.com.
So it's like a big toilet.
What you have, it's like a big toilet, and what it does, it leaches out water little by little. and you have solids that'll be in there that will kind of the microbes will eat it up.
So where do they
Because
go?
you get treated with something.
Right, so where
And
do
then
the
it
solids
goes,
It's powerful
it
technology.
kind of breaks down.
And invites qualified candidates.
You're supposed to treat it, and then you get it cleaned out. The solid, see, it doesn't. You don't have that much of solid that's going to be in there. And then you clean it out every so often. There are septic, you probably seen these septic trucks that go clean septic systems. That's what they do. They pump out the solid, basically the solid that's in there.
ZipRecruiter.com/free. It could be information to
They take
change
it to
your
the
life
sewer.
forever. Or there's something you should know.
Put it in the sewage.
I thought you make fertilizer out of
Well, they take it to
That animosity is called affective polarization.
because you know you can pump it into that directly into it, and the sewage treatment plant can help. Rather than trying to make, they used to make fertilizer, but you can't do that. You know, it's too much of a chance of microbes being in the material that will cause a problem. So they put it in the
Millions of
sewage.
Americans don't diversify their portfolio, which
They
means
have a place that
millions
they
are
don't.
missing
They
out.
pump it into a bigger place to handle.
Could be anyone.
That's
Your plumber. Yeah, here, fix your toilet. Your nudist yoga instructor. Stop, dude. Your ex-girlfriend.
But that's
It's not you. It's
in a way,
Yeah.
and I don't want to sound
Millions of Americans don't diversify their
uncaring,
portfolios. You can
but the
diversify
problem in
yours by
Madison
investing
Park
in
is
blue
being
chip liquid
overblown by a
reservoirs.
few
Go to
people.
Nextdoors
Because I know some people that live in Madison Park,
Before deciding to invest, carefully review the important disclosures.
because they have sewage systems and they don't have this problem.
Disclaimer.
But it's a few people who have a problem. They figure that the city should fix their problem. That's the problem. Because like I said, there are several places around Montgomery, it's 1,200 that they have identified. And they don't have a problem. It's only 400 that could possibly have a problem. And of those 400, see, then if you say of those 400 in the entire system, how much is it worth to do what? And that's why it hasn't been addressed. Now you have some federal dollars, but then those federal dollars are so specific on what you can spend it on.
To get involved, go to unitedway.org.
I know. Now, when you were saying the study, I don't know what the study was. Now he has said what the study is. To study what they already know. They already know how many.
which is what I've been saying.
Yeah. Yeah. But see, I didn't know exactly what it was, so you can't comment on it. I don't know what they had and what they were looking for. But basically, it's just give them an excuse not to do anything.
On the phone with us from some parts deep in a cave or somewhere is Commissioner Doug Singleton, who represents one of these parts of the county, and he's telling us which part you represent anyway.
So we were talking about the 1,200 homes again that does not inside the city limits. And you stress that because there's numerous homes outside the city limits. Most of the homes outside the city limits do not have sewer. They all on some type of septic tank or decentralized septic systems. Back in 2004, the county provided sewer access, the infrastructure for the sewer into parts of Madison Park that is outside the city limits, and about 50, I guess, % of the people there chose not to tap into it. Because, like Donald said, you have to pay to tap into. They can run the power, run the drainage, the pipes and all, but you got to tap into it, which means you got to disconnect your old septic system and tap into the sewer. So about 50% decided, hey, I'm going to spend $1,000, $1,500 to do that. So they did not tap into it. One, because they didn't want to spend the money, and two, the septic system was working fine. Now, these homes are inside the city limits because back in 2004, it was the county who did it outside the city limits. So there are many, many homes in Madison Park, and some of your listeners called in, that we have agreed to, as the city and the county commission have met together, has agreed to address the waste disposal situation for them. Now, as your question on the other one, during this process, the city and county decided that since we have $44 million for the county ARPA funds, I think 41.5 for the city of Montgomery, and the county pipeline has 1.8 million. And
we are also going to work with the town of Pike Grove just because they are a municipality like the city of Montgomery. We are the county. Town of Pike Grove and city of Montgomery both inside the county. So we've been meeting together, the city of Montgomery and the county commission. We have met a couple, 2 or 3 times together, and we identified 32 things that people would like to see addressed with this ARPA money. We agreed at our last joint meeting, which is open to the public, and there was media there, and so we agreed at that meeting that the mental health crisis center, that we would give $5 million to go through the mental health crisis center. I think that came up last night at the city council meeting, came up
Right.
at our county commission meeting that yesterday morning, that we would agree to fund $5 million for the mental health crisis center. Everybody agrees on that. I don't think there's any debating on that. Probably the number one issue we have in the state of Alabama and Montgomery County. We agreed for $1.5 million to go to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, which was the first one to apply and ask for body cams, for the new vest body cams. These body cams will actually have technology that when they confront a mental health issue person, that there will be a live feed from that body cam to the mental health crisis, and somebody at the mental health crisis will be communicating with the deputy to tell them what to do in that situation. So you need to back up, put your hands down, you need to say this to them, that kind of stuff. So those 2 items were ones that we all agreed on, and then the third one was the waste disposal, what you call sewer or septic. We agreed that we were going to address that. And the county commission, we talked about those yesterday morning. I think that's what Commissioner Sankey was talking about when he was down at the city council meeting last night. Now, my understanding at the city council meeting, there was 6 items. I know those 3 were brought up. Blighted property was brought up. Now, we didn't address that. There was not one of the first 3 that we did. I don't want to say top 3, but first 3 that we did. But we all agreed that blighted property inside the city limits needs to be addressed. I don't know what the other 2 were, but I think it got tabled last night at the city council meeting. So hopefully, the city and the county again, we will have another meeting and we'll sit down and we'll go through this list of 32 items that have been requested, and we'll say, okay, what's our next priority? It could be, and I'll just throw out some things that's on the list, and in no particular order, I'm just going to throw them out there, but community centers, the modernization of our community centers, emergency transport services, blighted property buyback, homeless programs, de-escalation training for law enforcement, cameras for downtown Montgomery and for parts of the city of Montgomery, addressing the district attorney's backlog assistance, broadband, again in no particular order, tourism, directional connectivity, renovations of our athletic and recreation facilities, and renovations to our parks and city parks and stuff. Now, what I would like to personally, now this is just Doug Singleton, it's not the whole committee, it's not the county commission, I'm speaking for myself. I would like to, at the end of 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we look back and we say, what did we do with all this money that we had, this $85.5 million that we had back in 2022? I'd like to be able to look back and say, look, we have reinvested a portion of that money back into the city and the county that would allow us to sustain all these great nonprofits and all these other great programs that we have. Now, we can give money to different programs, and that's the easy way to do it. Just, okay, we can give these programs this amount of money, and $85.5 million will be gone pretty quick. But I'd love to see us do something with this money to reinvest, to bring people into Montgomery, to get them in the hotels, spend the night, spend money here. And Kevin, you still with me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to make sure you're silent. But for every youth that comes to Montgomery or anywhere, every youth that comes to Montgomery to play in either a baseball, softball, tournament, tennis, soccer, swimming, pickleball, you name it, if they come to a city to play in some type of tournament, they spend $530 per child. That is the national figure that's studied and proven over and over again. You say, how do they spend $530 per child? Well, you take, if it's a male, they're going to bring 2 more people with them. If it's a female, they're going to bring 4 people with them. So these estimates are low end, $530 per athlete that comes to town. They spend it on hotels, food, gas, shopping, and then stay in our hotels, and then we generate that tax money, and we generate those hotel fees that we get, taxes, and all that money can be put back into our program, and we continue to generate money. We bring in a 200-team tournament to Montgomery, 200 teams for 3 days, and we've had those in the past. We've lost them because of our facility. We bring them into Montgomery, Alabama on the weekends. We're going to fill up every hotel. It's going to spill over to Millbrook, which has great facilities. It's going to spill over to Wetumpka with great facilities, Prattville, and even Auburn. That's a $4.9 million economic impact over that weekend. It's unbelievable what we can do. But for us to get these tournaments back again, and we have lost. I've got newspaper orders after newspaper. Well, we lost them because our facilities. They want to play at state-of-the-art facilities, and they're going to go somewhere every weekend and do that. And we have a tremendous advantage here in Montgomery, Alabama. One is we have the hotel infrastructure to host these tournaments, but we're also centrally located. People from Atlanta, Mobile, Huntsville, within 3 hours to us. And that we have that one advantage over everybody else. And if we can start bringing all these tournaments in and fill our hotels up on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the nights that our hotels are normally low on occupancy, if we can start filling those up on the weekends, get them to stay one more night and go to EJI and go to Whitewater, just one more night, if we can just do that, it's unbelievable what the economic impact would be and what our tax base build-up would be, and would allow us to fund so many great organizations here in Montgomery, help us with our education and so many other ways. But we're really missing the boat because we are losing out.
Man, a couple weeks ago, there was a wheelchair tennis tournament out at Lagoon. I didn't know much about it, but it was looked pretty good. But we need to work out there on our tennis courts too. But I guess there's always something to do with the money. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you real quick, that was just a great job. Part of my vision, now again, Doug Hamilton's vision is that we will have 3 synthetic fields at AUM at the Emory Farmer Soccer Complex. We'd make 3 of those fields, one at the stadium, a synthetic field. That would allow us to bring in the major soccer tournaments. It would allow us to bring the conference tournaments back to Montgomery. It would allow us, we want to do a professional soccer team. That would allow us to have that done. We would also build a Miracle League type field at the Emory Farmer synthetic turf. Have brand new locker rooms. You're gonna have locker rooms, 4 locker rooms on the complex to host these major tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to that, I've got a vision of AUM on its 22 acres of property right next to Emory Farmer. I talked to Dr. Stockton at AUM. This is very, very preliminary, but there's an opportunity for us to build 36 tennis courts, 36 pickleball courts undercover. Right now in Oak, Alabama, they've got covered pickleball courts. There's a live feed. If you go to that live feed, you'll see those courts filled up with people playing pickleball every day, 6 times a month.
Whatever pickleball is.
Yeah, that was a tournament in Florida. A friend of mine played.
I gotta go, Commissioner, but I gotta get you down. We gotta talk more about this. See, these are now. I don't really hear about all this stuff all the time, you know. And
like I said, it's very, very in an infinite stage, but it's something. And again, this is my vision. This ain't a
right.
This is what I see. I want to reinvest in my job.
All right.
And that's what
appreciate your time this morning. Maybe we got a little bit more clarification, I believe, out of some of this, but we'll see. Thank you, sir. I got to take my last break an hour. We'll be back.
You can reach me by caravan.
I can't believe you haven't heard of pickleball.
I heard the name, but I don't know what it is.
Fastest growing sport in America.
As everybody keeps saying,
Yeah.
but it ain't that fast, because I ain't never heard of it.
Yeah, you just haven't heard. But actually, I call it old folks tennis. Because you play with like a Nerf ball instead of the other airfield ball.
Yeah.
And it's like tennis, you hit the ball over the net. It's similar to tennis.
Old people.
It's just not as fast.
Oh, okay.
You know, with that ball with the air in it, it'll come so fast.
So it's slow tennis.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Noticeable. It'll be humid. It just won't be top of the charts humidity, so at least we won't have heat index values well over 100. But mid-90s, that's hot enough. We're approaching record highs. Showers and storms return to the forecast then for the weekend. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Hello, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Nothing's being reported by the authorities that would send anyone on an alternate route. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Summer registration is going on now through May 26th at Trenton State. Change your life. Call Trenton State or go to trentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, ball ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
When it's time to get a new vehicle, Larry Puckett Chevrolet is the best place to find your new Chevy or a great used car. New cars, SUVs, and trucks are being delivered daily, and Larry Puckett has their largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in over a year. Check them out online at LarryPuckett.com or visit them on Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville. And if you have an extra vehicle, bring it in for an instant cash offer. Whether you're selling or trading, your vehicle will never be worth more. Larry Puckett Chevrolet, where the customers do the talking.
Folks in Otaga and Elmore counties know the difference between right and wrong. When politicians say one thing but do another, it's time for change in the State House. Jerry Starnes is a change in the right direction. He's a husband, a father, and a Christian conservative. Jerry Starnes is a Purple Heart decorated veteran. Jerry Starnes is a man of strong character, a man who loves his wife, and a man you can trust. Paid for by Jerry Starnes for State House.
Yeah, I had too many phones.
You got rid of them all?
I just got my one night. I had just too many. Paying all that money. Make everybody else rich.
So you finally got the common sense.
Yeah.
Too much stuff.
I didn't have too much stuff.
Cash out today.
You need to reduce some of the stuff, and you can have more stuff less. No. Do you know what is a big business now? Storage.
Yeah, I know.
You notice how many storage places there are?
They say statistically, if the more storage places you have, the more prosperous your city is theoretically supposed to be. That's what they say. I'm thinking more people get put out there.
Well, we are very prosperous right now because there's a bunch of them, man.
What business do black folks own? What business do black folks own?
Hair business. And then they buy the hair from Asia.
Yeah, so we don't really own the business. You can't own the business unless you provide the resources.
You know, we used to, Bronner Brothers used to supply the product, but now we don't even have people that supply the product. Hair product.
Okay, we do funeral homes.
Yeah, we do funeral homes. But we don't own any cemetery.
If you manage that, you can get
somebody, I thought about you last night during the council meeting. They were giving somebody some recognition for, you remember when you went, they were talking about mapping? Evidently, they've done it. They've done it.
Yeah, they've done that a long time ago.
They just finished.
At church and of all places.
Because we want everyone to really be able to know the correctness of those findings. We can only pretty much just say something's there, but.
Oh, that was the ground for GPR
Right.
study.
Listen and subscribe to Titus
That was
and
supposed to have been
Tate
done years ago.
wherever you get your podcasts for the
We've
Western
gotten,
One Podcast Network, where the
we've gotten a
conversation
grant to
starts.
do that a long time ago. And it was done.
Well,
It was done at Lincoln. What cemetery was it?
Remount.
Oh, okay, that's a different one.
Yep.
Remount is across the street. Oh, okay, that's what that is.
Show me a river that's so deep.
And we're back. Let's go to the phones right quick, see who is there. Good morning, who's this? Oh, that was it. Sorry about that.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes.
I was hoping I could talk to the commissioner, but maybe he's still listening. With all the wonderful work that's been going on downtown over the years, and then with the Whitewater Park coming online, why in the world is Montgomery rated behind Wetumpka on the News World report of the best places to live in the United States? We're number 3. We're not even number 1 in the state. We're number 3. Seems like they would go across the river over there and find out what they're doing and how they got rated number 1, and we got rated number 3.
We need that casino, baby. We need that. We need that casino.
Is that it?
You know, we need one of them.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, Wetumpka's a suburb of Montgomery. That's all.
Well, Huntsville was rated
Number 1.
Number 1 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
maybe we need to go up to Huntsville and see what they're doing.
Well, that's the aerospace industry there.
Yeah, they don't think, but people in Huntsville don't know they're in Alabama.
Well,
yeah.
I guess I need to go to the casino more and spend more money over there. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, Oxford and Anniston, they took their abandoned railway, the railroad tracks up there, and they made a just beautiful walking and bike trail up there. Maybe Montgomery could think about doing that. But anyway.
Something to think about.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, I just caught the program, but and plus Huntsville spreads the economic value. Not only do they have the reason that stuff come to Montgomery because the racial issue is not near what I'm from Huntsville, so it's not near as bad as it is here.
Because people are busy working.
No, and before we have to go, while we're talking about building pickleball, and you love pickleball, Kevin.
I don't know what it is.
But anyway,
yeah.
While you're building all that stuff and having these dreams, have the dream for the whole Montgomery. Why not plan some soccer fields and some tennis courts and some pickleball courts on the west side? Just maybe.
That's a show by itself. That's a show by itself. Okay, that's a show by itself.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, just you see the separation there. You talk about building all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And see, Huntsville is like that. High school, they turn that into they built another high school. They turned the building into a facility where everybody can go and play ball. It's an event center, the whole thing. So I mean, it's not as racially divided.
Mm. Well, the thing that keeps Montgomery racially divided are all the races.
No, that's not what keeps divided.
Really?
Oh, okay, I agree with that. The problem is identifying the race. Nobody wants to identify the race.
We really don't have any. It's a thought.
But money is an equalizer there.
Yeah.
The reason Huntsville didn't go through what a lot of.
Okay. Hey, let me grab. We get that. Let me grab this last call. Give him 30 seconds before I have to go because he's been waiting. Good morning.
Hey, this is Fernando Morgan. How are you doing?
Pretty good. You got about 30 seconds.
So I wanted to come in on the sewer system. It's definitely a real issue. Thank y'all for bringing the spotlight to it. We've had parents over the years that DHR has utilized that as a reason for the children not being home. So we wanted to thank y'all for putting the spotlight on it. Also, see if there's a database where we can look and have parents point out to DHR the state to say, hey, it's not my issue, but a state issue.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't use that against them to take their children from.
Wow. Really? let's talk about that again.
Not like the only issue, but it's
Right,
the issue.
one of the issues. Quality of life, right? Okay, I got you. Appreciate it. That's what. Anyway, our time is up. Well, Donald, thank you for coming and sharing your valuable wisdom and knowledge with us.
Thank you for having me, Kevin.
Yeah,
not a great day and an enlightening day.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, see you.
News update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams at WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Wednesday.
Sometimes the Elk Man Show comes up with some answers to some questions. Got to ask the question first, though.
I'm just tired of hearing about all the study. Oh, you brought your own headphones.
Yeah.
Oh, so why not put these over there for you?
Good. Because you have sometimes.
But that's what I told somebody this morning.
Sometimes. Yeah, I heard you tell.
Time at work.
See, sometimes your recollector don't be working. Your forgetter be working. Yes, yeah, I gotta take mom to the podiatrist today. Foot doctor.
Oh, foot doctor.
Yeah, I knew that. I don't know. Have to keep up on things, man.
We'll see you guys later.
Everybody wants